Hello, everybody. There's no intro music this time because Josh ain't here.
You ain't got the
Welcome to
music board.
no. Welcome to the DC Comics. No, my God, the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 281.
He was just so
We
excited to say we're talking about DC books, and I don't blame him.
No, I am actually very excited because we have 2 weeks worth. So I want to give a little shout out just to, well, not really shout out, more of an explanation to why we're doing this today and not last week or earlier this week. Josh has had some moving things he's got to do. He's potentially moving to another state soon. So um, that has been a lot of shit for him. So we've had to reschedule and push shows around. Last week, there was only really going to be 2 books we would be covering. So we decided to combine it into this week, which was kind of crazy because there's 9 books we're covering for a total of 11 books
Yes.
in one day. It's going to be fun. But
Oh,
we're here. Josh ain't. So we have no intro video, no graphics, no sound effects.
just
It's
us
going
two
to be
clowns
a
talking for the
quiet
next
show.
who knows how long.
3 to 4 hours.
Oh, God,
Because when Brandon and I are alone, we
Jesus.
talk a lot.
We cannot keep it together. But you know
No,
what?
we
It's
cannot.
Saturday. Like, it's all good vibes. I'm glad to be here chatting about some awesome books.
Yeah. We may as well. I'll get started with saying what the books are, beginning with
Yes.
our honorable mentions. And I figure, Brandon, if it's all the same to you, we could just do a brief little review of any honorable mentions we want to shout out while I'm doing the list. So we have DCKO Green Lantern Galactic Slam number 1, DCKO The Kids Are All Fight Special number 1, Superman Unlimited number 9, Wonder Woman number 29, Batman Superman World's Finest number 47, Catwoman number 83, Harley Quinn number 58, Justice League Red number 6, Harley and Ivy Life and Crimes number 3, and DC's Supergirl Next Door number 1. Personally, I've only read 4 out of those, and there's only one other one is on my list to read, but I'm kind of leaving it for the end with Superman Unlimited number 9. It just doesn't look like the most interesting issue right now,
Yeah.
but Superman Unlimited so far, since they got past that first story arc, has actually been kind of good. So we'll see. Uh, Justice League Red, I want to shout out. That was the last issue of this little mini. Kind of ended weird, where you really thought this was going to set something up or go somewhere, and it kind of just didn't.
It certainly felt like it, and this was just a weird series because to be completely honest, I was under the impression it was an ongoing, and when it just kind of abruptly ended, or rather there were no solicitations past number 6, I was like, what was the point?
Yeah,
So I don't know. I mean, there was still stuff that I kind of liked about it, but yeah, it's a little hard to recommend because it just feels kind of incomplete.
yeah, it really does. Like, it's an interesting team, interesting choice of people, but really the story is just like we've said it before, it was a bit of a nothing burger because
Yeah,
it sets up so much and at the same time discounts all of that setup at the like there's no point to any of it.
mm.
Did you
um,
read the number 6? Did you read the last one?
I did, yes.
Yeah. So it just, even what they were doing with Red Canary, just they neutered her basically. Took away something that could have made her even more special, and fuck, I don't know, it's just weird.
Mm.
uh Batman Superman World's Finest is cool. They finished the current story arc with the Joker Lex Luthor fusion. Have you read that one? I don't want to spoil it for you.
I have not. I'm not even really caught up on the latest arc of World's Finest. So
Oh, okay, fair enough. I will say it was a fun issue. It was a
Mhm.
very exciting arc. The most exciting part for me though was the very last page.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, yeah, because that feels like the complete opposite of Justice League Red, where you the whole time you're reading this arc, you're like, okay, this is just a cool little arc, and then
Yeah.
at the end, you're like, okay, this looks like it's setting something up.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that was issue 40. What? 47.
7,
Yeah.
47.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's honestly it's kind of crazy that I feel like I hadn't really been paying attention the last 2 arcs. So I hadn't really, been following the book that closely, but it's about to hit issue 50, which is
Yeah,
insane. That shouldn't be insane to say, but like in this current comics market, getting to a 50th issue for any series is a milestone, but getting to a 50th issue for a new series is like, man, you won, So I'm
right.
hoping this one continues after it. Like, even if I'm not actively
Yeah,
reading it, I think it's a great title to have.
it like I said it before, it's fresh and nostalgic at the same time.
Mm,
It's really just a fun book where crazy shit happens with two of the biggest superheroes in the world.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they're not afraid to grasp into the larger universe and throw them into the fire and make it fun. I think every story arc has featured Batman and Superman, but it has had guest appearances from the larger DC universe at the same time.
Mm. And barring We Are Yesterday, pretty much has had very little to no crossover with the main title. So I mean, I know each arc is kind of independent, but really, it's not like you have to be reading a million other books to understand it, which is just it's a great thing to have on the shelves. Like,
Exactly. And then we for the last two that I read were the DCKO tie-ins. This
yes,
week we had the Kids Are All Fight special. That was kind of a fun one, I gotta say, from Jeremy Adams. Oddly enough, Jeremy Adams wrote both of these.
yeah, this was kind of a Jeremy Adams double slam week to use.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna say to use wrestling terms because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I assume slamming is involved in some capacity.
At least in the Green Lantern Galactic Slam issue,
Yeah,
there definitely is.
but yeah, no, I mean, well, I haven't checked out Galactic Slam. I kind of like thumbed through it, but I haven't read the whole thing.
Fair enough.
But I really wanted to because Kyle Solo and also teaming up with Omega Bam Man just sounded awesome.
Oh, it is.
But I did read the Kids Are All Fight because how could you not?
Yeah.
And also, people have been like hyping up the potential upcoming Teen Titans team speculation time. So
Right.
I'm like, I gotta see this, just to see like what this roster might look like. And I had a pretty good time. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're just going by speculation alone, if this was the Teen Titans lineup that they were to run with, maybe adding Roy and Donna into the fray as mentors, or John as a kind of mentor, I would be all for it. I saw some grumbling like, oh, it doesn't look that interesting, and where's Robin, where's all these other people? But I'm like, if we're gonna do a new Teen Titans book, let's try something different, something really
Yeah.
different. You know what I mean? Because it feels like it's been a while, and we need to build something new. So I'm all with it. But in terms of the story, just fun to see these this lineup of characters kind of doing their thing, especially really seeing Judy take the forefront. We hadn't really seen except for the whole Cy Spurrier Flash stuff, but I kind of deleted that from my memory.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Yeah, if people are asking where Robin is, they're not really paying attention to Batman and Robin right now.
I think that's the idea,
Yeah.
And I know that book is coming to an end, so people are gonna be like, well, is Robin gonna be in limbo? Robin will be around. Robin will be in Batman books. I think it's just like that mindset of you can't have Teen Titans without a Robin. And look, I'm not gonna act like I'm innocent. I definitely felt that way and have felt that way, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, let's push for something a little different this time.
Yeah. Like
And I
right
think it's
now
fun.
in continuity, there's just not a place for one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like, if we're gonna do a new Teen Titans thing, let's find a different way to approach it. And where Damian is right now, I just don't think it would be good for him to be on a team book.
No. Now he's searching himself, he's finding himself and growing up, and he's doing just fine doing it in Gotham with his dad. The last thing he needs is to join a team and be thrust into leadership when he's already on the fence about even being Robin, right?
Yeah.
Like he's just come to terms with the fact that he is Robin and Damian, and now he's finding his place.
Yeah.
Let him do that. He does not need to be in the Titans roster.
I completely agree. Whereas John, I feel like, is perfectly suited to be in the Titans.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
having
he's right.
that
He's
level of
found himself. He knows his place. He
yeah,
knows who he is, and now he needs to go out in the world and be a team player and
and
work with others.
especially after everything that happened in Secret Six, like this just feels like the perfect opportunity for him to just kind of step up as mentor or leader, however you want to call it, and just lead a group of out and out heroes, not like kind of villainous, maybe slightly heroic anti-heroes, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. Like we don't. Sorry, I lost my train. I don't know where I was going with that. But if I can talk about the last page, because you've read The Kids Are All Fight, you said, right?
Yep.
Um, twist reveal.
Oh
I did
man,
not see that
dude,
coming
that
at
was
all.
like what a fucking pull out of nowhere. I mean, I know they'd
Right?
kind of been hinting at certain. Should we just say it?
Yeah. Okay. So if you haven't read it,
Kind of
silence
dance
us
around it.
for a minute. Fast forward 30 seconds, whatever. But basically, pre Flashpoint costume
Yes,
back in modern DC continuity. Welcome back to Virgil Hawkins.
Static is back, as he says
Static is
himself.
back. Yep.
Which was just like such a baller move.
Yeah.
And once again, Jeremy Adams giving us things that we did not expect but absolutely wanted. So I was like, I was ecstatic to see my boy
Yeah.
Static
Yeah.
back in the
Exactly.
roster again. And if there was ever anyone who deserved a better shake at being on the Teen Titans, it's fucking Static. His tenure was way too short lived, and honestly, was during a less interesting time with the team. But him being front and center is like, man, you couldn't have asked for a better addition.
No, definitely. I see a comment on Twitch from, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that. GZDR4EV, asking, how do you feel about the narrow list of potential Power Girl actors between Anya Taylor-Joy, Sydney Sweeney, and Chloe Grace Moretz?
I was
Um,
aware of that.
yeah, I didn't know there was a short list yet, but if
Yeah.
that's the short list, I don't know. See, here's the thing about Power Girl. I'll be happy no matter who is the actor, right?
Mm.
To a certain degree. I'm not an actor. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan that is necessarily
You are an
looking
actor.
for
You were
like good.
certainly an actor
I
at one
I have
point.
been in the past. um. What was I saying? Sorry, Josh just pinged me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
not
like,
a fan that's necessarily looking anymore for comic book accuracy, but if I have it, fucking great. Definitely, like that's always cool. The current Supergirl actress, I forget her name off the top of my head. She looks really good in the part, and
yeah,
she looks
no,
comic book accurate.
Millie Alcock. I
Yeah, Millie
didn't
Alcock. Yeah,
really follow House of the Dragon that much, so I can't speak to her
yeah,
acting chops incredibly well. But what I've seen
yeah.
from the
She's
trailer,
new to me here as well.
yeah,
She looked really good in the brief appearance we had in Superman. I
yeah,
really liked her performance
yeah.
there. So and the trailer looks really good. So I'm looking forward to her as Supergirl. If I'm going for as a comic fan to see a potential Power Girl actress, why not have Millie Alcock play that too?
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
Right? Because they are the same person, just from different universes.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, Power Girl is older, but it's still the same person. But if they are going to go in that role, I mean that direction with okay, this person's older, so it's going to look different. I think having those three choices kind of contradicts that because they all look around the same age as Millie Alcock, and they might not be. I know Chloe Grace Moretz might be around the same age as Millie Alcock. Anya Taylor-Joy and Sydney Sweeney, I believe, are a little bit older, but they don't look that much older, but they would look physically different, right? So I
Yeah.
don't know that those would necessarily work. Um, and fuck, I'd be honest. So like, as much as I like all three of those choices, I don't like all three of those choices at the same time. But if I had to pick one, If we're talking boob window, Sydney Sweeney. If we're talking acting chops,
Goodness.
Chloe
Rob,
Grace
this is a
Moretz.
family-friendly show.
Is
Keep
it?
your
We
lurid
swear
comments to yourself.
constantly.
Look, this is a family fucking friendly show.
look, look. I don't know. Like I'm talking about boob sweat. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, boob sweat is a real thing.
I wouldn't know. I don't have any. But...
Yeah, I mean, I got like a minus cups if that's what you want. I'm a big guy. Yeah, so that's my pick. If we're talking like comic book physicality with boob windows, Sydney Sweeney, because that would fill the top, so to speak. But if we're talking acting prowess, Chloe Grace Moretz. I like Chloe Grace Moretz. Yeah. Anya Taylor-Joy can act like circles around people like crazy, I think, but I really like Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, I have no particular preference. Honestly, it's whoever best sells me on the role, regardless of their physical appearance. But I mean, they're all certainly good actresses. So I think any one of them might be able to get into the role. Although I do like your idea of just having Millie Alcock with, I don't know, some face makeup like Back to the Future, playing an older version of herself, and that can just be Power Girl, do some shit there.
And that's what would make the most sense to me. But that's my thought.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of casting and just like characters who are physically in line with the characters that they're playing, small bit of news, small depending on how invested you are, but we did get our first like close-up look at Lobo in the Supergirl movie. I think that was this week. I don't know if we talked about that last week. I'm pretty sure it was this week. I know they put out
we didn't talk at all last week.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Okay, so never mind. Well, then there you go. And I don't know. I'm certainly not the foremost Lobo expert. My mind is still stuck in crossover land. The
logo, yeah.
Josh could speak to it better than I could, but based on all the images I've seen, I'm like, yeah, he's got the look down pat.
Oh yeah,
that
he
is
definitely does. Especially considering this is a role he's been pining for since even before Aquaman.
Yeah.
Right, he's wanted to play Lobo forever, and James Gunn just gave it to him. Like, okay, you can do it. He fits the role so well. He looks really good in it, and I have no doubt Jason Momoa is going to kill it as Lobo. He might be the highlight of that movie. Not to knock Millie Alcock Supergirl, because her Kara looks really good, but that, like, Jason Momoa's Lobo looks to be the shining beacon of that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes you just have supporting actors who kind of steal the show, like Edie Gathegi with Mr. Terrific.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he was the shining beacon, like in Superman, for sure. Like that whole movie was fantastic, but like he killed it as Mr. Terrific. And I still see people talking about Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner as well. Like he stole a bit of that show too.
Well, that one was a little harder for me to be unbiased about because I just love Nathan Fillion in general.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a great job.
Yeah. Like every time somebody brings up Guy Gardner online and they have an image or a GIF, it's always him giving the middle finger.
Yeah.
Right?
I've been seeing that lately, and it's like I'm not even, Mr. Lantern. That's more Rob, but like that fills me with such joy that people like took to the character like that.
Yeah. Oh, it makes me feel so good. Because Guy Gardner, he's one of my favorites. He might be my favorite Lantern behind Kilowog.
You've definitely mentioned that a few times. our back and forth on who is the best Lantern and also who's our favorite Lantern.
Exactly. There's just something about Guy Gardner, and it was all because of Green Lantern Emerald Warriors is what really hit it home for me.
That book is a trip. Way too short-lived, but I honestly have to thank you for kind of turning me onto that one. I read it, I guess, almost 2 years ago now, but that first volume was insane, but so much fun.
Even down to that last issue where he teams up with Batman was just a
Oh
treat.
man, yeah. I will never get over the panel that lives rent free in my head is just Guy and Bleeze, and he's like, "Kiss me, you red bitch," and he's got the blood all over his face, and I'm like, this is. I don't even have words for what this is.
No.
This,
But it is just quintessential Guy Gardner at the same time.
yeah.
It's just so fucking good. Uh so that's where the fuck were we? I've even lost where we are. Well,
We
speaking of
were
Green Lantern, I know you
yes.
said you haven't read it yet, but Green Lantern Galactic Slam, I just want to point out, fantastic issue, especially if you're a Kyle Rayner fan, even more so if you're a Jeremy Adams fan, because as we already said, Omega Batman is in this issue. It's Green Lantern wrestling across the multiverse. What's not to love? Seriously,
Uh,
it was
uh,
such a good issue.
I
I
mean,
loved
this
it. I bought
cover
it.
is freaking awesome.
Wait, which cover did you get?
Just the standard one.
Yeah.
I don't know who did the art on this. I think it's Kyan Torme, but I just like I saw this and I was like, oh hell yeah.
Hang on a second. Where is it? Where is it? This is the cover I got because I just thought this one was awesome, and it looks so fucking good.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks amazing. This one variant by Torrin Clark.
Nice.
It just looks so good. So that was a fun issue. Also sets stuff up for Green Lantern going forward. So that's
okay,
a
that's good to hear.
tease.
Yeah, because we kind of know
Post
Kyle's
600.
gonna be. Oh, okay, yeah, we kind of know Kyle's gonna be getting the focus for a little bit in the main
starting in what issue just came out?
31. Yeah.
So a 34, 35 is going to be 600. So 601 / 35, 36 is going to be the Kyle focused book going forward.
Man,
From what I remember from a solicit, it's Kyle in the forefront with Hal as the B story. So he's still going to be in it, but he's going to be like a couple of pages here and there.
I'm like, man, this is a trip, dude. It's like living through the 90s. We got Wally writing the solo book and Kyle frontlining the main Green Lantern book.
Not even just writing the solo book, Mark Waid writing it.
Yeah, well, for now.
For now,
Speaking
and
more
I think
like
Ron Mars is coming back for the first issue for Kyle, or at least he's going to be in the 600.
Yeah, I think he's probably doing another short story or something like that. I was talking more about like when Ryan North takes over Flash, which I also have one very small thing to add. It's not so much news, it's more just like, I don't know, news of an endorsement. I saw this on the DC Comics subreddit. I guess Gail Simone had gotten an advance copy of the first issue of Ryan North's Flash. Ooh. And even she was like, I have a ton of deadlines. Like, I'm fucking writing X-Men. I don't have a lot of free time to be, reading people's issues. But she read it, and even she was like, this is amazing. So I'm like, we're already like super hyped because you couldn't have picked a perfect dream team, but to hear Gail Simone give it like her ringing endorsement, like seal of approval, I'm like, I want this book in my hands so goddamn bad. And every cover we've gotten so far just elevates that excitement.
I might have to add that to my pull list because I'm trying to collect a small assortment of comics, and I've just added Iron Man. Yeah. But if Ryan North is writing Flash, I might just have to. I've already got his Fantastic Four every month. I need to get his Flash.
Ugh, man. Talk about a book that I'm grossly behind on. I think I read issue 4 was the last one I read. And
you're only 2. I think issue 6 just came out.
Yeah, or was it 6 or 7? I don't know. I just know
I'm pretty sure it is. Actually, you might be right. It might have been 7.
I know they just started that new arc, The Invisible Woman, because I saw the cover, but I really got to get caught up.
Curious so far. It's actually interesting.
Okay,
it's weird when Ryan North is doing like multi-part arcs for Fantastic Four because he's always excelled in like the single issue stories.
Yeah,
have been my favorites, but this is just as good, even though it's
yeah.
multiple parts so far.
No, it's cool.
Yeah. I kind of hope he does more single issue stories though, because so far like, we're 6, 7 issues in, and it's been multi-issue arcs. I
Yeah.
just kind of miss the single issue stories sometimes because,
Yeah.
like I said, they were so fucking good.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's definitely one I want to make sure I'm caught up to again because it just like those first 4 issues and all the stuff that I'd read of his previous Fantastic Four run has been phenomenal.
yeah. Like I could name my top 3 of his previous run
Mm.
right off the bat if you have them. If we want to just do a quick top 3 of Ryan North's Fantastic Four, because I
Go
always love
for it,
talking about
man.
Ryan North's Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I got issue 1 where Ben and Alicia are in that town and they do that time travel stuff.
Oh
And
yeah.
they're like Groundhog Day.
Mm.
And there's issue, and I forget which number it is, but I want to say it's like 10 or 11 when they're in space, and it's like that space horror story where they're there, but time is moving incredibly fast. So it's from the perspective of these astronauts over like hundreds of years that are seeing these like ghostly images floating through the space station, but it's just the Fantastic Four slowly like dissipating into existence
Mm.
from their perspective. But from the Fantastic Four's perspective, that space station just going like milliseconds at a mile.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
remember
definitely an
which
issue.
one?
Is it? Yeah. No, I kind of blanking on it at the moment.
Shit, it's been a couple of years since I read it. Of course, I haven't read it since like it first came out, but it left an imprint on me. It was such a good issue. The cover alone, it was an Alex Ross cover. Because back then we was doing
Mm.
all the covers,
Oh
and it
yeah.
was just such a striking image because it's what you clearly see is the Fantastic Four, but it's like their eyeballs and like their vein structure instead,
Yeah.
and it makes them look like horror monsters.
Mm.
Um, just haunting this space station. It's just fantastic.
Yeah. Has that
Uh,
book been going for like 4 years now? I want to say it was 2022 when they relaunched it, but
I think so, yeah.
yeah. Wow. Love that.
Because issue 6 would be like, if they kept the numbering, would be like 40 or 41, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah. And then issue, I want to say was 24, Reed and Johnny's Misadventures
Oh man, yeah. Now
in
that
the
one I
house.
mean, yeah.
That was like, that's
Mostly
my
because I love that.
all-time favorite issue of Fantastic Four.
I love a good Reed and Johnny team up.
Yeah. And just finding a hellmouth in the basement of Sweet Aunt Petunia's house.
Classic.
What better way to spend a
Classic.
Saturday afternoon on Halloween, no less?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's one I definitely I hope they put in a nice Marvel doesn't really do too many compendiums, but hopefully a nice complete edition or something. I'd love to have that.
That'd be good. Because that was just a fantastic run.
Oh yeah. Say that again?
Run? Do you have like a favorite trio of books from the first run, or
Ooh, man, I'm not well versed enough in that run to really say, but I did love. I think either issue 2 or issue 3 are definitely in there. The Reed and Sue story was great, but Johnny as a car salesman was not just like even at that point I was kind of like I don't know if I feel about this, but revisiting the issue I was like this was kind of fun.
Yeah. When he grows the mustache.
Oh. But the funny thing was like he was pretty good at it too.
Yeah.
I loved that. Whereas like he's kind of dedicated to it.
Yeah. Now that was maybe my number 4, because when I was thinking about like my 3 favorite issues, like that was a really fucking good one too.
That was like that was one where I was glad to revisit it because at first I was kind of like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But no, it's super fun.
Yeah. It really is. All right. Well, that's all I can say about honorable mentions. Is there anything you want to shout out?
I'm trying to think. No other honorable mentions of the books that we've had for the past 2 weeks. I'm trying to if there's anything else. I mean, we'll talk about some other books that we might want to recommend outside of DC, but I did pick up Youngblood issue number 3. I haven't read it yet, but we're 3 issues in and there haven't been any comical delays in the schedule. So we might just be onto something. You never
Good.
know.
Good.
But that's it really.
I have fallen off, and I'm going to be honest. I'm behind on books. I might get back on that horse.
Don't even get me started.
So it's not that I don't want to read it. It's just like it's on the back burner right now.
You can also not want to read. I would not blame you. If ever
I
there was
was
a
like,
book that was made for a very specific group of people,
yeah. I picked up the first issue. I have not finished it. And again, it's not from a lack of desire. It's just I did start to, and then I fell asleep because it was like 11 p.m. And then I just never got a chance to get back to it. But to be fair, the same thing also happened with the first issue of the Batman Second Night, and I've yet to get back to that. And issue 2's come out, so
man.
that tells you how behind I am. And so it's definitely not that I don't want to check it out. I just there's other stuff I want to read first.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. Just quick, I have a couple of Josh's notes. I won't give his full review, but I can say he very much enjoyed the DCKO tie-ins. He was kind of lukewarm on Justice League Red and absolutely hated Superman Unlimited. Gave that a score 3 out of 10. Justice League Red got 6 out of 10. Kids Are All Fight Special got 9 out of 10, with Green Lantern Galactic Slam got an 8.75 out of 10. And then we'll talk more about the other books going forward. But yeah, so you mentioned shouting out other titles. Well, if I may,
Yeah.
Can I go first?
Go for it. That was really the only one I had.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you mentioned shout out Youngblood. Okay, well, I want to shout out a book that came out this week, written by Joshua Williamson, DC's very own. It's over at Marvel, and is a book that I found so good that, like, seconds after I put down the book, I opened my email and wrote a letter to Marvel expressing my joy, which I have never done before. There's been books that might have given me that level of joy before, but never so much to say that I felt the need to write in and express how much I liked it. And that is Iron Man #1. With God.
I know it's Carmen Carnero doing the art. I can't speak for the colors.
I have the issue with my hands right now.
Yes.
Because I want to show
cool
off the cover.
Wrap around.
Nolan Woodard with VC's Joe Caramagna doing the letters.
Nice. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Nolan Woodard, I think, was. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was Alejandro Sanchez and Carmen Carnero who did Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty, which is that was another reason. Sorry, I don't want to go on another tangent, but another reason that I was pretty excited about this relaunch was Carmen Carnero, super underrated, absolutely phenomenal artist. That Captain America run she did with Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, while it was short-lived, was incredible. And she did, I think, like 11 issues in a row, no break. Like it was super great, super kinetic, really polished too. So even looking at the preview pages, I was like, this is like, I'm glad they got a real talent on this one.
Yeah. This is the cover I picked up. Very shiny, very clean. I loved it. I wanted it actually, for the rare occasion, I wanted the A cover, but my shop was all out of it. Yeah. So I picked the next best one I felt. Absolutely stellar. And me talking about it actually got Josh to maybe check it out.
Dang.
He said he would actually give it a check out, even after I reluctantly told him it was written by Joshua Williamson. And after months of harassing him, he's actually going to check out G.I. Joe.
I'm glad. Like G.I. Joe is
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
it is so fucking good.
I
Mostly
still
because I've been teasing him with the appearances of Mask characters in
oh,
Transformers recently, and he's
yeah.
a huge Mask fan. So with
Okay.
that, he's like, okay, maybe I should catch up. And he's going to read not just G.I. Joe, but all of it.
He's been teasing that for a while. I hope he finally gets
Yeah, I
around
hope
to
he
it.
follows through. Once he's settled into the new place and like got things back up to snuff, he's behind on books too, as are we all. Let's
Okay.
face it. Life
It has
happens,
been
piles pile up.
yeah.
Yeah. So he's gonna have a lot to read. I don't even know if he's checked out another book that I recommended a month ago called Wrestle Heist. Issue 2 came out this week. I've yet to read it because, again, like I said, behind. That was a fun one. But now he's going to check out G.I. Joe and Iron Man, two Joshua Williamson written books.
Crazy.
It's fucking crazy. But like I've insisted on him, this is not like his Flash run. And I know that's where it started for Josh, was his Flash run. And I get it. I felt the same pain. I did. But everything since has not been that bad. And this is way better.
I've I'm in a little bit of a different boat in that I've been enjoying a decent amount of the stuff he's been doing, and still am enjoying Superman despite some of its flaws. Even on it, like, man, people really hated his Green Arrow after the fact. I still really like it
I
though.
really liked it too. I bought a
So
few
like,
issues.
yeah, even with some of the absolute power time, like I was enjoying that all the way up until the end. Maybe I'm a little biased. I do love Green Arrow a lot, so that might have colored my opinion. But I'm like, I had really no problems with that run aside from a few pacing issues. So
Yeah.
I think he's been doing a great job. And yeah, I was like, Iron Man, what a great character to just breathe some new life into after
Yeah.
unfortunate other attempts. So yeah, I'm stoked to hear you say that because I
Yeah.
really have been wanting to check it out all week.
And the opening fight for Tony was just
Okay, well, don't spoil it. Don't
I'm
spoil
not
it.
going to spoil anything else,
No,
but
no.
it felt to me like, okay, he's really done his history on this,
Yeah,
and we're in for some treats.
nice.
And it's now that she mentioned his Green Arrow run, it does kind of give me that same feeling where I took his Green Arrow run as kind of a love letter to Oliver Queen.
Yeah, in the same way that Robin was a love letter to Damien.
Yeah. So
Also,
this maybe not a
update for
love
you.
letter to Tony Stark, but
Yeah.
definitely like maybe a character study
Mm,
in
that's
the history.
yeah. Also, update for you. Something that'll fuck with our viewers' heads. Robin came out 5 years ago.
Holy
Robin
shit.
'1 came out 5 years ago. What the fuck?
That was 2021. Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, super
Wild.
excited to finally check out Iron Man. And it's
Yeah.
like an oversized issue, so I got a lot of stuff to chew on.
Is it?
I think so.
Is it? It didn't feel that different, you know?
I mean, I paid $6 for it, so it better be oversized.
I don't know. They don't number the pages anymore, so it's hard to. I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming oversized is in more than 20 pages, but we'll see.
Yeah. It might be. But yeah, I don't know. I have to look up the page count because I didn't realize. Okay, so that's about all I've got. News. Oh wait, I do have news. Where did I put it? Right, Marvel. One last thing for Marvel. They have teased a follow-up to Ultimate Comics well before Ultimate Endgame #5 comes out. Ultimate Endgame number 5 will end, and then there will be Ultimate Epilogue, I think is what it's called. After the fact, a one issue kind of tying up the Ultimate Universe. And then after that will be Reborn, Ultimate Impact, about the Ultimate Universe legacy and its impact on comics or Marvel Comics storytelling. Written by Chris Condon with art from Stefano Caselli. That is coming out in May.
Oof, I don't even know.
Oh shit, I don't know. Yeah, May 20th. Um, it won't necessarily be taking place in the Ultimate Universe or be about the Ultimate Universe, but will be about probably what is happening with the origin boxes.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of that's supposed to happen in Armageddon as well, but I think this might be setting up some stuff in Armageddon too, because this Miles Morales is going to be a big player in this, and he has the origin boxes right now, so that's probably what this is about. They're kind of keeping tight-lipped on what exactly Reborn Ultimate Impact really is about. So we'll have to see. But that's coming. The Ultimate Universe is not completely dead yet. But also, that reminds me of something I want to bring up from last week. Last week was the last issue of Ultimate Black Panther with number 24. And holy fucking airball. Why is it the very last issue is when it was the most interesting?
Oh, really? I had not been reading issue or that series since like issue 6.
Jeez, really?
I dropped off quite a while ago.
Fair enough. I read every single issue and like I was interested in it. I liked it, but this final issue is when it's set up so fucking much. Like it definitely felt like it lost the plot twice over the past 24 issues, but right here is where it all came together and everything happened, and like T'Challa's where he needs to be, and Eric Killmonger's where he needs to be, and there's this alien invasion potentially happening, and all these characters come together and they tease some big changes, and then it just ends.
Well,
yeah. Maybe in Ultimate Endgame or Ultimate Epilogue, whatever it's fucking called, we will get like a proper ending. Because I think in the one shot post Ultimate Endgame number 5, all the Ultimate Comics writers are coming together for that last issue to send off the characters they've been writing for the last 2 years. So maybe that will give us like
such a bizarre way to end your series, though.
It really is. And I'm not the only person that thought that. Like I got to the last page, I'm just like, what the fuck? And then I later on online I see other people saying the same thing. Like, why end it like that?
Oh, what a dud.
Yeah, it was really fucking annoying, but whatever. That's that. So the first Ultimate series has come to a close officially. Who knows what the next one is, because books keep getting pushed back.
Yeah. I know Ultimate Spider-Man's ending got pushed back.
Yeah, I think Ultimate Endgame number 5 got pushed back as well.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure out what they want to do, whether this really is the decisive end, which it sounds like it will be, even with this Reborn miniseries, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, although
I for one am stoked for Armageddon, though.
Yeah, I will say, I was looking at a quote from, I think it was Chip Zdarsky's newsletter recently, and he was kind of talking about how he's taking over Captain America and sort of what his goals were. And I hope I don't butcher this quote, but he was basically saying like he had talked to Williamson about him coming on Iron Man and sort of what they had imagined, or I guess Williamson was asking like what's kind of going on with the current Marvel status quo, and they were sort of talking about what they wanted to do maybe going forward, because I know Chip is doing this Armageddon event that's coming up soon, and it sounds like there are plans to kind of restructure and realign things, and hopefully that'll put Marvel in a bit of a better place for 2026 and beyond, because I think things have been feeling very scattered, and
Yeah.
there are some good books just kind of hidden, but there really isn't any cohesion, and that's unfortunate when DC's whole line is very cohesive, and they have the Absolute line, which is also very cohesive, and
Yeah.
it just hasn't really had that.
I don't mind a bit of scatteredness right now, just because so many books that I'm reading are so good. Like Fantastic Four is great. ASM has gotten really good. Captain America's great. Iron Man's great. Even X Men and Uncanny X Men, I still absolutely adore. So I don't mind how it is right now. I wouldn't mind if they did stay a little more separated for a little bit.
Interesting. I think that's mostly you. A lot of people kind of frustrated, feeling like they Marvel doesn't really have a way to stand up to DC and its kind of momentum right now. I think it's more just of a PR thing. Like they just need a visual overhaul that shows that like they have a lot of interesting stuff going on,
Yeah.
because it's there. It's just no one's paying attention to it.
Yeah, that might be it. Like for me, ultimately what gets me to read a book is if the story draws me, and it's not necessarily that like, okay, well, I know that this book is going to reference what's happening over here, and like that's cool,
Mm.
and these characters are going to show up here, like that's all cool. But what matters to me is if the story really grabs my attention, right? Like Captain America, I haven't read a Captain America book since Ed Brubaker, right?
Really?
I don't really care about Captain America, but I care about Chip Zdarsky, and I checked it out for Chip Zdarsky, and I absolutely love it.
Well, in Captain America's defense, you are from Canada,
Yeah.
so I understand your lack of interest in the book's commentary on American politics. But
Yeah.
yeah, although most days, I mean, you'll have like it will delve into that, but most days Steve's just doing like spy stories, so it's not always like someone's thesis on American politics. Not all the
Yeah.
time, anyway, but
No. I mean, right now it's kind of both.
yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think the first arc did a really good job in just like setting up the mindset of a very early Steve Rogers before delving into the modern day, which I have not read. I issue 6 I think just came out recently, and that I have not read. I also felt like it was a really long break between issue 5 and issue 6. I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean I know that one's kind of tying things back to the present, and I've been really excited to read that one too. So maybe that'll be a 1-2 punch. I'll read Captain America and then Iron Man, just see where they're at.
Yeah. Because the two of them together just feels so good.
Yeah, and yeah, no, like I said, I've just that first arc I felt like was a really great way to kick things off. I don't know if you had finished that first arc of Chip Zdarsky's Captain America, but
Yeah. No, I'm caught up to it.
yeah,
It's so fucking good.
yeah,
Especially with the whole One World Under Doom happening concurrently.
yeah. Yeah, no, interesting to see his version of an earlier Doom, while
Yeah.
Doom is taking over the world at the same time. But no, super exciting. Couple of really good books on the radar. I'm just hoping. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just hoping Marvel can kind of fix its PR approach and maybe just get more people excited about their books, because it feels like the
Yeah.
excitement, you know.
All right. With that, I think we should get into our DC books for the week.
I
What do you
think we
say?
should.
Yeah. So our list today, we have Detective Comics number 1105, Titans number 31, Nightwing number 134, Green Lantern number 31, The Flash number 29, Superman number 34, Justice League Unlimited number 15, Absolute Flash number 11, Absolute Martian Manhunter number 8, Absolute Wonder Woman number 16, and Absolute Batman number 16. Heck of a list going forward. And fuck, I just love seeing the numbers all over the place. Especially that Nightwing is in the 130s right now.
Dude, you want to know something that's crazy? Nightwing is the only title that has not relaunched since Rebirth. It's been
Yeah,
10 years.
it's crazy.
It is the
Keep
last
that going.
please.
Don't
And
relaunch it.
even
Don't
better,
reset the numbers. Just
yeah,
keep it fucking going.
even better if it lasts to, I want to say, issue 151 without relaunching. It will surpass, Jesus Christ, had an anime moment there. It will surpass its predecessor. It will surpass the 90s series as being the longest running Nightwing book.
So
Which
the 90 series went to 150 issues?
I want to say it was 151.
151.
It's
Okay.
either 151 or 154 because they canceled the book when Batman and Robin was going on.
So here's the thing. If it did get to 151, oh no, but there was the new 52 series.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if it gets to 150, if that was 151, when this gets to 149, that'll be number 300.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but then there's the new 52 series, so that don't count.
Anyway,
And
well,
that went what, like 50, 51 issues?
not even. I think it was 30.
Really? I swear it
Yeah.
went more than that.
Yeah, no, it was short lived because they canceled it after Forever Evil happened, and then Grayson kicked off.
Right, and that's a toss up if you want to count Grayson as part of Nightwing.
Yeah, I kind of do, but not really. It's like part of my Dick Grayson saga, if that makes sense. So I have the New 52 Nightwing series, Grayson, and Rebirth all kind of lined up in a row.
Yeah,
they'll kind of feed into each other. It's like one large meta story, I suppose.
I mean, it is. It's one big story together, but I don't know if I would count it towards numbering for Nightwing. It felt really at the same time like its own book.
Yeah, very much so. So quick update: the original 90s series ended at issue 153, and we're at 137. Okay. So if the book lasts another 2.5 years, really just 2 years, it will beat that number, which I really hope it does. Like we already know we're good for. Yeah, we already know we're good for 140, I think. So, or maybe not 140. Maybe up to
this is 134, so we're good up to 137, 138.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping it makes it because that would be awesome. It's not often that you get to surpass that number, and it's not often that a book makes it to 150 something issues.
Exactly. And just thinking about how the book's gone since Rebirth, the ups and downs.
Oh man,
over 134 issues.
Like honestly, if ever there was a time where the book needed a relaunch, was when Tom Taylor took over, but they didn't do that, which is really surprising.
They kept it going, and he did well, I think, to a certain degree. Like, we both agreed that there was a lull, but
critically, yes, there were lower points. Commercially, I know this book sold fucking gangbusters. It had to.
Oh yeah.
Because that's sort of how that success is allowed for Dan Waters' run to continue, and that one must be doing pretty well too if it hasn't come to an end.
Yeah. So Dan Waters not supposed to be leaving anytime soon, right?
No, I mean literally is finishing off the Zani arc with the next issue, and is going to kick off a whole new arc with Dennis Cowan after that. So
hell yeah,
like he's in it for the long haul, which is incredible to hear.
Good to hear. Well, with that in mind, let's not talk about Nightwing and talk about Detective Comics instead.
I suppose we can talk about some Detective Comics instead. Yes. And speaking of Tom Taylor, this book is written by Tom Taylor. This is Detective Comics number 1105, written by Tom Taylor with art by Mikel Hanin. I'm sorry. Yes. Pencils by Mikel Hanin with inks by Wayne Foucher and Norm Ratmond. And I guess Mikel Hanin doing some of the inks on pages 17 to 22, as well as doing the colors with letters by Wes Abbott. And this is part 5 of The Courage That Kills, kicking things off with a flashback to the young lion. I guess his full name would be Leo Kingsford, as his father's name is Mark Kingsford. We're kind of getting an update on who his father is, and basically that he was working for the Falcone family at one point, but then Batman showed up, beat the shit out of him, scared Leo, scarred him for the rest of his life, and then bounced. And even Batman admits, I was young and I was inexperienced, but we all make mistakes. So after that brief flashback where we see Leo kind of really suffering with his fear and almost lashing out at Gordon for a brief moment, we cut to the present where Bruce kind of relays another moment where he'd had an opportunity to meet Leo when he was giving him an award for a science fair submission, and then kind of just talks about their own similarities in that they had both grown up without parents, but also him just kind of encouraging Leo to step outside a little bit more and not be so afraid of the outside world. When we cut back to the present, Barbara is getting ready to face off against some rioting that's going on. Bruce initially is like, do you need any help or anything like that? But she's basically saying she can kind of handle it alone. In the meantime, Bruce has checked out Leo's apartment and also recognizes something familiar and tells Barbara that he needs to check in with Black Canary. And as he does so, Dinah fills him in on her own history with Leo, revealing that at one point he'd been a student of Wildcat and initially was very timid, only really working on the punching bag. But then seeing one of those kind of jerkish, thuggish boxers harassing another young kid, decides to step up and actually manages to knock out this kind of jerk boxer who's known as the Beast. And that sort of gives him the courage to start boxing a little bit, which he does for a little bit, but then gets his shit knocked out by Black Canary and ultimately causes him to feel fear again. And maybe for the first time since that night where Batman beat the snot out of his dad. So Dinah basically says like he never really showed up again after that, and then kind of has to leave because of a Justice League emergency, but really encourages Bruce to stay on this, which he does. In the meantime, he makes his way to the Gotham Infectious Diseases Center where he checks in with Mr. Terrific once more on the status of the young boy who was infected on the boat. His condition is slowly moving towards irreversibility, but Batman's thankfully still has a window of change, and they're hoping that they can get that fixed and resolved and find a cure as soon as possible. They have assembled a team of scientists, I guess, including Natasha Irons, Jonathan Crane, aka the Scarecrow, Ted Cord, Will Magnus, Lana Lang, Ray Palmer, and Shea Veritas, who I did a double take of because I didn't think she existed anymore since a lot of the new
pops up here and there.
I was
I'm
like, what
surprised
the?
a lot of Lang is there though.
Yeah, I was also like, I didn't realize Lana was a scientist at that level, but there you go. But yeah, they all, excuse me, have their opinions on how they want to test out a cure. And Crane, of course, is the first person who suggests that maybe they should test it out on the kid to see if there's any effects there. Batman is very much against that, and so decides to test out this sort of serum on himself, but not before checking in with Damian, who is going to break up a police accident at the Gotham Water Treatment Center. So he's doing that while Batman is trying to stop some kind of attack, some kind of firebombing attack that's happening outside of his own place. But as he intervenes, who should show up but the Lion himself? And the Lion rather subtly, but not so subtly, fills him in that this was all kind of a diversion and that the real threat is not the fire that's happening here. Like, he didn't plan it. Really, everything that's going on is at the water treatment plant. And that's when we see that there's an explosion that happens at the same time, and Robin's feed cuts off at the same moment. But as Bruce is kind of reeling from this and also is still struggling internally from his own infection, that's when the Lion kind of fills him in that everything that you're trying to stop is pointless because it's already happened. A real Ozymandias moment, if you will, in that the fog that initially was on the boat over the water that rolled in, that was the real catalyst. And the fact is, everyone has already been infected. There's nothing you can do. Gotham is already getting ready to burn, or rather, Gotham's courage and lack of fear has already been initiated. So that's where our issue ends, with Gotham City burning and a rather grim looking Barbara lying on the floor as the police department burns. So very exciting. Love that. No, this is a really solid issue, and great getting more backstory into Leo. I'm still kind of like, Mr. Taylor, please respectfully, can we do a different type of villain that is not the sins of Batman's past? But it's good to get a little more context as to his sort of mindset and everything. So I really appreciated that. I also loved the Black Canary cameo that I was not expecting, but was nice
Yeah,
to
that
see.
was cool.
And maybe feels like kind of a tease for the next arc, given that Green Arrow and Black Canary are going to be kind of co-starring in Detective Comics. So
Yeah.
excited for that. But yeah, no, this was a solid issue. Great cliffhanger. I assume everything's going to get wrapped up in the next issue, but how, we will have to find out. So yeah, good stuff overall. I gave this one an 8.25 out of 10. Really solid issue.
I pretty much agree. I just also like this one was a weird one because as much as I'm enjoying the story, this one felt like a stepping stone issue. It was very much like the origin of the lion, and it was cool and all, but it's not what I was super into about this story arc in the first place. But I get Detective Comics, so they had to fill that in at some point. It was bound to happen. It just wasn't my favorite issue of this arc. I agree with the Black Canary cameo was cool, and I didn't even think about the fact that it could be setting stuff up for next arc. So I forgot that Black Canary is going to be co-starring alongside Green Arrow. So that could be cool. But my biggest thing was also the kind of Wildcat cameo in the flashback.
Mhm.
That was cool too, because that
Oh, for
is
sure.
the last time we're going to see Ted Grant for a very long time.
I won't say very long. This comics and anything can happen, but it
Yeah,
may be
you
a
never
little
know.
while.
Um, but he's also quite old. I feel like he's going to go the way of Uncle Ben, which is unfortunate because he's a
Uh,
fan favorite. I
yeah.
hate saying it, but I also believe it.
Well,
Um,
I mean, it's not the first time that some of the old guard has died. I mean, the old Doctor Midnight and the old Hour Man have been dead since the '90s. So, and the
yeah,
old Sandman as well. So, um, these things do happen. It's just a little bit bittersweet because, like, Ted was really the last holdout, not counting Alan and Jay. And you're just like, damn, I didn't want to lose him.
yeah. As for Detective, though, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
All right, that will bring us over to Titans. And when I typed it, it came out Tyrants,
Oh,
which is not not good. But here we are.
yeah,
This
not
is Titans number 31. This is written by John Layman, with art and cover from Pete Woods and letters from Wes Abbott. We open up with a little one-page view of Starfire along with Titan's Towers landing on Tamaran, meeting up with her sister Blackfire, and also Beast Boy and Beast Girl trying to save the people that they brought to the alien planet and fighting this giant freaking alien monster. Um, and that's the last we see of that group of people. We then jump on over to two concurrent running stories with, excuse me, um, Diana and Arsenal on Earth. They've come across a parademon army led by none other than Grail, the daughter of Darkseid. They have a big, gigantic fight back and forth between words and fists. Parademons are working the shit out of them. And for the most part, they have the upper hand until some parademons get the upper hand on Roy and hold him hostage, while Grail takes the fight straight to Donna, or vice versa. Donna takes the fight to Grail, and Grail mentions, "Hey, look around. They've got your boyfriend. So how about you let me go and let what's going to happen to the Earth happen, or your Archer boyfriend dies." Um, then we jump on over to Gem World, where Nightwing and excuse me, Raven have gone up against Jinx, who is newly powered by sapping energy from the magicians, I guess you could say, of Gem World. Nightwing has kind of taken the fight to her solo, while Raven has gone to get some help from none other than Terra, who they have taken with them to Gem World as a kind of captive. And Raven does eventually convince Terra to come in and help. There's two ways this could go. You could either be the villain everybody thinks you are, or you could be the hero we all know you can be. The classic speech, if you will. Raven leaves her behind to help Nightwing, but then Terra decides she will be the hero for now and uses her exceptional prowess, since they are surrounded by like elements, right? Raw rock and soil and all that. It's the perfect place for Terra to be. So she takes Jinx out quite easily, traps her in some amber, and then says, "Hey, you know what? I could do both." And also traps Nightwing and Raven also in amber, and says the reign of Terra begins, where she has now named herself the Queen of Gem World. That is where our issue ends. I mean, well, really, it ended with the Grail and Donna, but I read it in different order.
Wow.
This was interesting. Grail and Donna having the slobber knocker was just pure comic book fun. But ultimately, the real fun of the issue was the story in Gem World with Terra, which I am stoked to see more of. And we will say one thing: if you're paying attention to solicits, Terra supposedly, I will say supposedly, even though we kind of know what's going to happen, supposedly is going to be a Titan going forward. When the book not really relaunches, but gets to his next story arc. But I think it's kind of a new title, isn't it?
Yeah, it's New Titans.
New Titans, yeah.
Uh,
Same numbering, new title. So this, with if you're paying attention to the solicits, this issue might be like, okay, what are we doing here? Just like get on with it. We know she's not going to be a villain, but at the same time, if you don't pay attention to the solicits, I'm sorry, I just spoiled it for you. But also, it's kind of just like, all right, this could be interesting, and then also think, why are we doing this again? Like, I like the idea, but also I don't, because how many times have we done this with Terra?
Too
You know, the
many.
back
Too
and
many.
forth of, is she a hero? Is she a villain? She could be a hero. She's going to be a hero. Oh, she's still a villain. Just make up your mind and get on with it. I like John Layman. I really do. You know how big of a fan of Chew I am,
Yes, very
but
much so.
this is getting old with Terra. Like, too many writers have done this. Just get to where we know it's going to go, please. So yeah, that's how I feel. It for now is going to get a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I don't have too much else to add other than just like we're doing this shit again. I mean, it was fun seeing Grail face off against Donna. That's a uh, battle I would not have expected. I mean, well, obviously we knew it was going to happen, but just one of those, one of those fights I wouldn't really expect to see, given that when Grail showed up, Donna wasn't even really Donna at that point. So nice to see that. Nice to see that she can still kind of hold her own, but I'm just like I'm very much in. Let's move on to the next creative team. I'm kind of past really caring about this, so it is very much just DCKO filler for me.
Yeah.
But I like the kind of New Teen Titans #1 callback homage on the first page. So that's a nice thing I can say.
Yeah, yeah, that was good. Did you give your score?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. All right. Well, we'll get on to what we were talking about before with Nightwing. What do you say?
Yes. Because we are in, I guess, our penultimate chapter. Like, we are almost right near the end of this whole Zani arc, which is crazy. It is just like, it has been a whirlwind from start to finish, and it's crazy to think we're almost at the end. But yeah, here it is. Nightwing #134, written, of course, by Dan Waters, with art from V. Ken Marion, colors from Veronica Gandini, and letters from Wes Abbott. Martian Manhunter is back in Titan's Tower and kind of fills in Barbara on where Nightwing actually went. Specifically into the fifth dimension and into the Cirque du Sin, which is where we find Nightwing doing his absolute best to ignore just the most grotesque horrors that are around him. I won't go into detail. Read that shit for yourself. But he's like, no, let me just focus. Try not to get distracted and block out all the craziness. As he is led into the interior of the tent by Olivia Pierce, aka Columbina, with her disembodied head being carried in her hand. Um, and so the Zani reveals that the next phase of his master stroke is to have Nightwing play a little game, which we had teased in the last issue, but now that game is revealed. Classic circus game of Tin Can Alley, except this Tin Can Alley has a little bit of a twist to it. It's not just a random collection of cans, it is Bloodhaven itself. And no, that's not a metaphor. It's literally fucking Bloodhaven. Because, as the Zani reveals, in this game of Tin Can Alley, you have to do the most damage to win, and the damage that is inflicted on those tin cans actually happens to Bloodhaven, which we see when he throws the first baseball, knocks over a bunch of tin cans, and destroys several buildings in Bloodhaven. So Nightwing is doing his best to hopefully mitigate the damage as he participates in this game. But as the Zani reveals, it's either play the game or lose and stay in the Cirque du Sin forever. And of course, the kids will stay as well. So he reluctantly goes along with it after a moment's hesitation and perhaps a little bit of fear as the straw children start attacking him. But Nightwing, knowing Bloodhaven better than anyone else, has an idea of where he can throw his baseball without doing too much damage and maybe a little bit of intentional damage, as his baseball lands on all of the Helios tech that the BPD had in store, which was kind of funny, but obviously knowing Nightwing, very intentional. His next throw, however, is a little bit of a ruse as he throws it directly at the Zani, although we quickly reveal that what he threw was not a baseball, but was, in fact, the sort of minimized version of Nightmite, who now believes that he's soup and pretty much goes straight for the Zani, momentarily ripping like a hole in his chest. That's when Dick gets the upper hand and is able to land some blows in the Zani and really just says, "You're not a god. You're just yet another fifth dimensional imp looking to cause trouble." Olivia Pierce, totally disheartened to see this, and imagine very frustrated by Nightwing's refusal to become the ringmaster, launches her own head at the tin can collection of Bloodhaven and aims it specifically at Titan's Tower. And upon connection, destroys the whole sumbitch, brings it to the ground, and unfortunately looks like it's bad news for Bryce Moran, aka Nightwing Prime, who was still in Titan's Tower at the time. And that's where our issue ends. To be concluded next month. This book fucking rips. Man, I ain't got anything else to say. It's just, I'm like, each issue continues to elevate it, and finally having that confrontation, and such a clever confrontation with the Zani, was just so satisfying to see. Like, this book, I hate using the word clever because it makes it feel like the book is trying to be smarter than you, but it is really clever. Like, the way that it approaches its conflicts is just really satisfying. So I have nothing but love for Nightwing as usual, and I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. Just awesome all around.
Agreed. It was fantastic. Really, really setting up some major stakes here. Um, Kind of trippy with the fifth dimensional stuff at the same time. Like there's a lot of talk about fifth dimension stuff recently. Like it's all imagination, and what you imagine is true, and it's only real if you imagine it. But like this stuff is actually affecting the fucking city.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I can't wait to see how this ends because Nightwing's not gonna come out of it the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be some personality shifts a little bit, I think, because this is definitely fucking up Bloodhaven, which is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, that's maybe about all I have to say because you kind of said everything I needed to say. So, shit, 9 out of 10 as well.
It is a book that speaks for itself. What can I say?
Pretty much, it's just kind of solid.
Yeah.
All right, well, that brings us to Green Lantern, issue number 31. Another team up of Hal Jordan with an old friend of his. This one is written by Jeremy Adams with art from Montos, colors from Romulo Fajardo Jr., and letters from Dave Sharp, with the cover from Annie Wu. This is pretty simple. Barry called Hal for help as he has been arrested by what's basically some dirty cops. He, being crime scene investigator, has some evidence that can put away a mob boss or a crime boss if you don't believe the mob is real. And these cops work for this boss. So they arrest him. Barry gets the inkling that these cops are not on the up and up because he knows his shit. He's known a lot of dirty cops and a lot of good cops, and he knows how to tell the difference. He somehow is able to get out of the cop car when it's stopped and runs off as fast as possible, just as Hal catches up to him, saves him from the cops. They head off to Barry's apartment, where they don't go in because they have a feeling it is being watched. And certainly enough, it is. Barry tells Hal where to find this hidden vial of evidence hidden in Barry's apartment. Not before giving his own kind of rundown of what the hell is going on with Hal and this message. He has been looking over some stuff. Both Bruce and Ollie called him and let him know what was happening because they all care about Hal. So Barry was able to look into it ahead of time. He is getting some tachyon readings off of Hal right now, which tells him that there's some time travel shit going on, and probably this message from the Book of Oa was sent to him by himself in the future. What that means, he doesn't know. What that means, we don't know. We will have to see going forward. But for now, Hal kind of puts that info on the back burner and heads into Barry's apartment, finds it, but then also finds an enforcer who hits him right through the wall and onto an adjacent building. So now Barry's got a brand new sunroof. Well, not sunroof, kind of sunroom, if you
Yeah.
will. Yeah, giant hole in his apartment. This guy is
I hope they
very
have
much
good
the Hulk.
contractors in
Yeah,
Central City, like a big ass
yeah,
home like that.
yeah. But this enforcer, his name is Bruto,
Yeah.
and that's
Looks
because he
like
is a heck of a brute. And think of Joe Fixit
I was
from
about to
Marvel
say, I was
Comics.
like, yeah, he
Yeah,
looks like Joe Fix It.
but yellow instead of gray. So
Right.
that's basically who Bruto is. So it's a heck of a fight for Hal Jordan. Barry can't do much because he became powerless after the events of Dark Crisis, if I remember right.
Yes.
Um,
Or I think it was
eh,
Absolute Power.
maybe
I remember.
maybe it was
Yeah.
Absolute Power then. Yeah. Bruto has also brought along some crime goons,
Yeah.
if you will, that are shooting the shit out of Hal. He's able to put up some safe constructs, but he also figures he needs some backup. So he gives Barry a taste of his own past turns him into a construct version of the Flash, complete with super speed. So Barry is able to help Hal out. We get the Brave and the Bold back together again for a fleeting moment. Barry is able to take down the goons while Hal tries his best to take down Bruto. But what he's really trying right now is giving Barry the time to get to court with the evidence to put the crime boss away, while Hal holds Bruto kind of up at arms. Gives Barry just enough time to do it. Then Bruto gets the word that the crime boss has been arrested, and it's kind of a moot point now, this whole fight. So Hal wins without actually beating Bruto, if you will. It's interesting how the fight ended. Bruto says, "I'll be back. You haven't seen the last of me, but whatever. We'll see if that does happen again. It's going to be a hard fight for Hal. Hopefully he has backup again then." Later outside the courthouse, Hal and Barry meet up again. Barry says, "Whatever happens in the future, don't forget, you always have a friend here, and we'll always have your back." And then Hal goes into space. And next issue, supposedly, a date night, which means Josh is gonna love or hate it. Next issue, we'll have to see. This was a bit of a fun issue, but if I'm being honest, at the same time, it just felt classic. And maybe it's because I've been reading so much Silver Age Green Lantern recently.
I was going to ask. I was very curious your opinion on this one, because you have been, for our viewers are maybe aware, maybe not, but Rob has been putting in the work, the hours, reading a shit ton of. You should be explaining this, but reading a ton of Silver Age Green Lantern, and I think you've read now like what, 2 team ups between Flash and Green Lantern?
Yeah, two team up issues so far in the Green Lantern Silver Age series. So like Brandon was saying, for those that don't know, I since early January have been reading one Green Lantern comic a day until I've read them all, starting with Showcase number 22. I just today posted number 23, so it's day 26 for me. I'm posting it on Reddit if you do want to check it out. It's on the Green Lantern subreddit. It's frequently on the front page of the Green Lantern subreddit, so because I'm posting every single day. You can't miss it.
Things in this world that is giving me life right now.
Much appreciated. Much love.
I just love seeing the new posts.
I like that you even commented on one. Thank you for that.
Did. I was waiting for you to say something. I was like, does he know? It's me?
I know it's username. It's the same name you use on Discord. I know I know your name.
I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like I want to interact. I want to drop a comment. But it was really fun. That Sonar issue and just reading your summary and just thinking of how wacky and zany some of these Silver Age villains are, but they are very entertaining villains of the week.
They are, yeah.
Go for it.
So I was going to say the struggle for me is the summaries, though, because they take so long.
Oh man, yeah.
I try to read throughout the day while I'm working and then write the summary, but there's been some days where I've come home late from work because I just sit in the parking lot and write up my summary and my post and there's been days where I've been in the parking lot for like an hour just writing stuff up and finishing my book. It's like I don't want to fuck this up. I don't want to miss a day because I don't feel like I failed. Right. So I'm trying to find a way to like shorten summaries a little bit. And I think I'm getting into that now, knowing when to cut out certain things. But it's harder in those early Silver Age days because a lot of the story was very full.
Yeah.
Right. So where was I going with? Yeah. So this issue was very like,
it's felt like right up your alley now.
Silver Age inspired almost. Like it was a classic, like here's Barry and Hal teaming up to fight a villain of the week, and it's a crime boss.
very, very basic setup to just get them to team up,
Yeah. It felt good and it felt right at home. So it's been fun. It's been really fun. So I rather really liked this issue, but at the same time, like I said, I've been reading a lot of Silver Age Green Lantern. I was ready for something a little fresher, you know, because I, as much as I'm enjoying it, a lot of the Silver Age is also very dry because
Yeah, yeah,
it's a lot of unnecessary dialogue. It's a
yeah,
lot of text boxes. It's a lot
and
of
can be
this
yeah,
bleeding
very
plot.
yeah, bleeding plot and very stiff at time. I mean, I look, I'm a Silver Age warrior, a Silver Age defender. I don't really care how stiff some of that dialogue is. I just love the premise, and
Yeah,
that always is entertaining to me, and always has been. But it can be a hard thing to just like pound. It's like I don't think I've ever read more than 10, Silver Age issues in a row, because it can be kind of hard to get through.
yeah. I started Silver Age Green Lantern before. I tried to do a read through and read as much as I can. And I again started a showcase number 22, not reading one a day, just reading like a bulk at a time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got from showcase 22 up to the first Flash Green Lantern team up, which I think was issue 12 of Green
Mm.
Lantern in like 1961 or whatever. And
Mhm.
then I fell off
Yeah.
because I think I was falling behind on my weekly books. And then I just never went back to it because it was like I was reading 2 or 3 issues in a sitting, and it's just too much.
Yeah. No, it's a lot. I like a few weeks ago, this would have been like the end of December. I was reading DC Finest put out the Aquaman like Silver Age collection, so it's like all the Adventure Comics shorts, as well as like the first 3 issues of the 1962 series. Very fun read, super fun read. My God, those stories just bleed into each other. Like they are
Right.
interchangeable, and the plots are as thin as a sheet of paper. So it's like I was just pounding them back to back on a plane, and I mean I can tell you the very basic premise of each one of them, but there is not a lot of weight to them. It's just like Aquaman joins the Navy in this issue. Aquaman gets a new partner in this 5-page short story.
Right.
Aquaman learns he's going to die in this one and is really scared, but actually it turns out to just be a trick. He's not actually going to die. He's going to get dyed, like with Octopus Die. Yes, that's a real short story.
Wow.
It's like some of that stuff just like it all blends together, and when you're pounding one after the other, like your brain doesn't even register some of them.
Yeah. So it's just kudos to anybody that does take on a challenge like that to read a whack ton of Silver Age stories, but it is difficult. And sometimes you just need something a little cleaner, a little
Yeah, a
fresher.
little more, yeah, a little more modern.
Yeah.
I I will stand by my defense of my love of classic comics, but even I need a breath of fresh air
Yeah.
sometimes. So
That's
you got to come
exactly.
up from it, every now and then.
Yeah. And again, like I said, I'm enjoying it. There and you said it yourself, there's been so many fun classic characters. I'm really enjoying seeing some of the first appearances. Like it just today
Oh
was the
yeah,
tattooed man.
yeah, no,
What a
that's awesome.
classic villain, right? And I'm happy you commented as well. I was gonna say like the biggest fun for me is the discussion. But people are
Yes,
commenting from like day one when I started doing this. Many people were like, "I might do this with you and like read alongside you, and we can do these discussions." Like hell yeah, that's the
yeah.
fun for me. But
No,
there
I
are some
see people
naysayers. Nobody's commented anything negative, but like an hour or two after I posted today's post,
mm,
it was at 0 upvotes. Like somebody actually downvoted it.
dang.
I'm just like, why? what,
What is the point
why
of
does
that?
this bug you so much?
You're just being a dick at that point.
Yeah. There's been a couple of posts that have had some downvotes, and I don't understand it.
Yeah,
Why you gotta hate it? Like if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Just move on. You know,
yeah,
like some people are enjoying it, some people are having fun. I'm doing it for me, but I'm continuing it because other people are enjoying it, right?
yeah.
And I'm putting it on Reddit again for me to not only keep track of where I am, to have a written document of like, okay, this is what I'm thinking and this is
Mm,
what I've read, but also just for the fucking hell of it.
Yeah. And I
Right.
don't know if you feel this way. I think I've only talked to one other person about reading comics with this mindset, but for me, context is super important. Like in everything I read, that historical and time context is really meaningful to me. And it's like, well, how were people reading this at the time? If you were 10 or 30 plus in 1960 and you were reading Green Lantern, what would that experience have been like relative to other comics at the time? Like, how does that fit in? And so I'm really enjoying looking at it from that perspective too. Like, imagine you were a Green Lantern fan at the time and you were reading these books every month or probably every 2 months because it's probably on a bi-monthly format. Like, what would that be like? Like, oh, I just went to the corner store or the newsstand and I just picked up a copy of Green Lantern 23 and now I'm gonna read it this month and reminisce, you know?
Yeah.
That stuff is fascinating to me, and is also kind of how I'm looking at it too. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Whoever it is, I'll call him back.
No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like one of the early comments I got as well was somebody saying they felt what the fuck at the time that Green Lantern was being published, that it was one of the best books DC was putting out alongside the Flash, and I think they said Doom Patrol
Yes.
in terms of like just sci-fi.
Well, that to me sounds also more like art, because I'm just gonna say it, Green Lantern and Flash had some of the best art of the DC books. Don't at me in their initial inception with the dream team of Carmine Infantino on Flash and Gil Kane on Green Lantern, unmatched. And even looking at some of the panel, like I'd seen some of them before, but looking at some of the panels that you post, I'm like, oh my god, these are just gorgeous for the time.
Yeah.
So I think well, it's a little unfair because this is like early 1960s, so Marvel's line of books hadn't really gotten fully kicked off yet. So in the art department, like, yeah, they had early Kirby, but it wasn't in his Marvel prime just yet. So I feel like they were at a little bit of an unfair advantage. But yeah, no, I completely agree. Like Flash with Carmine Infantino and Green Lantern with Gil Kane and Doom Patrol with Bruno Permiani, like they just had some gorgeous looking books.
Yeah. Oh, they definitely did. And let's face it, like when it comes to science fiction, Green
Oh yeah,
Lantern
wildest
was
concept.
so good right now, and I imagine Doom Patrol and Flash was much the same. Because I was even saying in today's post that today's issue, even though with two stories, was all Gardner Fox.
Yeah.
So I'm finding I'm liking Gardner Fox stories writing wise a hell of a lot more than I was John Broome.
Yeah. Which is funny because John Broome was kind of the Flash guy and then would later do Justice League of I think, pretty sure, yeah. He was on Justice League of America for like its first 50 issues or something before Danny O'Neill took over. And yeah, those ones are, I mean, I don't know. I get where you're coming from. Maybe I'm a little biased too, because like those John Broome Flash issues are terrible, but I really
Oh,
like
really?
them. They're just so wild too. And his Barry is almost unrecognizable from the Barry Allen we have today, but
Right.
kind of unrecognizable from the Barry Allen we'd get like even 10 years later. But yeah, they're just really fun out there stories as well. And then yeah, Arnold Drake must have been on drugs when he was writing Doom Patrol. I don't know how the fuck he comes.
I think it's a prerequisite at this point. If you're going to write Doom Patrol, you must have taken acid at least once in your
You've
life.
got to be on something. Like he must have been one of those early users of LSD because this is like the early 60s. But I don't know what this man was on. Just some of the concepts that they have there are like I can't even wrap my head around it.
But so Gardner Fox was writing The Flash at that point, though, no? When Green Lantern came out?
I gotta check because I thought it was John Broome in those early issues. I know Gardner Fox was writing Flash in the 40s and then for a little while in the late 50s into the 60s. But now you're making me dig
Yeah.
out my copy to see.
Well, when Green Lantern started, it was 1959 to 1960,
Yes.
and I think
Yeah.
right now I'm at like 1963.
Yeah, so those like first issues of Flash, not necessarily Showcase, because those I think were Robert Kanigher, but yeah, those first issues of Flash, like 108 to 120 or something, those are all John Broome with Carmine Infantino.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
there's
fair
so
enough.
much fascinating stuff to it too, because like this is why I'm fascinated by the Silver Age, always have been. The inker on Flash, Murphy Anderson, was actually a
Oh yeah.
really talented penciler. And he would go on to draw the Hawkman series in 1965. And those books are incredible. I mean, art wise, like those, look at those Hawkman books. The anatomy is insane. And this is before like the Neil Adams style kind of takes off. So it's gorgeous to look at. And I think Murphy Anderson was also doing some Adam Strange stories in Mystery in Space too, and those are really pretty to look at. But yeah. Anyway, what I'm saying is I'm really jealous of you and keep doing the good work because you get to read those awesome Green Lantern stories with gorgeous Gil Kane artwork.
Some of it is, and Murphy Anderson did some inking on some Green Lantern stuff as well, and there's a noticeable difference.
Oh man, dude,
And
it's
like when Murphy Anderson inks, you can tell it's really good.
like the polish is insane, and it still blows my mind. But oh man, yeah, I gotta say it. I love following your journey. It's seriously been like the highlight of my month.
Oh, I'm happy to hear you say that.
Just like every new post, I'm like, yeah, man, I can't wait for you to hit issue 50. Just
Me
as
too.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a while because, like I said, like after issue 49, I'm going to go back to the Golden Age, do all of Alan Scott, and then do issue 50.
Oh man. Well, best of luck.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fun. Right, but though, so this issue of Green Lantern here though, really cool, really fun seeing those two work together again. Bruto was an interesting villain for the time being. I want to know where he came from and what his origin is, because there's definitely some stuff there, and not just like a Marvel ripoff of Joe Fixit, because let's face it clearly is.
Down to the suit. It's crazy.
Yeah, down to the fucking suit, pinstripe and everything.
Yep.
I'm going to give it you know what, 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, this was an 8.5 for me. I had a lot of fun with it. And like you said, definitely has that Silver Age vibe, but just like classic team up vibe. We have gone on and on about Brave and the Bold and how much we love that book, and like the pairing of Barry Allen and Hal Jordan is as classic as comics itself. You know this now. So it just getting that team up in any capacity is always fun, but them finding clever ways to team up, even if they are fighting a Joe Fixit clone, is just great. So like super simple premise, just got to keep Barry Allen safe, but boy, Jeremy Adams knows how to make it fun. Even compensating for Barry's lack of powers. Although my one gripe, I have to do it. The suit that Hal gives Barry is Wally's suit. It's not Barry's suit. I did see that, and I was kind of like, I don't know. It is. He's got the different belt, and the doesn't have the wingtip boots. I had to do it. I had to actually. I can't.
Yeah, and even like the white eyes.
Yeah.
But it changes in the next page.
Yeah, but
that first page is definitely Wally, but the second page, the belt's
I would
normal.
say the belt is, well, it still kind of has that curved look, but
it's not like meets in the middle. It's one continuous thunderbolt.
Yeah, it's a little harder for me to see because it kind of looks like it curves, but I don't know. Anyway, literally the most minor gripe I could make about this book.
Yeah.
otherwise, it was just a super fun time.
I didn't even clue in on that because I was just like, "Holy shit, Barry's the Flash again," even for a
It
moment.
it is purely because I have no life. Like I'm the only one who would notice something like that and actually care. Um,
Right. Yeah, it's all good. And I love the ring construct work in this issue too. It's so
oh man,
fucking
yeah.
good. He puts carrots in the guns. Like, oh my god. Anyway, that's enough about Green Lantern. We got more books to talk about. Speaking of Barry Allen,
Speaking of Barry Allen, speaking of the Flash, and speaking of Silver Age Barry Allen, we get kind of all of that in our next issue.
yeah,
So this is The Flash number 29, written by Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell, with art by Vasco Georgiev, colors by Matt Herms, and letters by Buddy Badone, with a stunning cover from Dan Mora. Once more, I am kindly asking DC to do literally any kind of Flash book with Dan Mora at the charge. I would give anything for that. But this issue takes us back to the beginning, kind of, very much so, as Wally has been transported back in time to Central City some years ago, as it says, at the very inception of Barry Allen becoming the Flash. And Wally barges in rather suddenly, with Barry being very confused as to who the hell this strange man is and that weird getup. But just as he arrives, who should show up at the same time but Dream Girl, who informs Barry and Wally that while she was working for Darkseid, her powers of precognizance have given her a clue as to who actually wins and how this whole situation ends. And with that in mind, is kind of turned away from Darkseid to sort of assist the heroes in their journey as well. But she can only reveal so much, as she's trying to kind of clue Barry in to the Speed Force, and all of these other things that await him in the future. Just as not the rest of Darkseid's Legion shows up, but really just parts of Darkseid's Legion, led by Max Mercury, who is going by his Whip Whirlwind namesake at this point. So they go after Wally fairly quickly and are really trying to go after Barry Allen in particular, as that was their goal, to make sure he doesn't become the Flash. But unfortunately, that process does not work, as they are able to, or they are momentarily distracted by Dream Girl's, I guess, premonitions, showing them the future that should be of the Legion, but momentarily robbing them of their control, and even freeing Max for a second. I should also mention that during this whole process, Bart, who was kind of laid up in the previous issue after his whole escapades, has escaped from Iris's care, and has traveled into the past as well, stealing someone else's old car, I guess, and crashing into the scene as the Legion had shown up to kill Barry Allen. In that moment, Bart, still kind of reeling from his own injuries, is near death, facing death, and is face to face in those moments of passing with Jay Garrick, who we saw in the previous issue, facing off with Guy. Jay is in kind of a limbo state where he's dead, but not really dead. He's dead in a different plane of existence, but maybe is just kind of being held there until he can be resurrected in his own way, while Bart is very much on his way out. And it's really Jay who kind of gives him the pep talk, or I guess reveal that, the Speed Force, while a mystery, is something that he can reignite from within himself, which is news to me. I was not aware that that was something that you could do, but as we've joked about in the past, the Speed Force operates on bullshit logic, so you can kind of do whatever you want. If you want to kickstart it from within yourself, sure, why not? Which Bart is able to do, at least for the time being, and also uses that power, I guess, to make sure that the Speed Force lightning bolt that triggers Barry Allen's connection happens, and ultimately he's set on his path to become the Flash. So Wally and Bart have a brief moment of connection, given that Bart or Wally was worried that Bart was dead, and the two of them do their best to make quick work of the Legion. Um, while Max has also regained control and also helps them out as well. But in that moment, Bart is momentarily possessed by the evil Saturn girl, and informs them of some dark premonitions that are to come. Um, just as Bart regains control and is no longer possessed by Saturn Girl, Max notices that they are escaping into the future via their own time bubble. And Bart, in particular, knows that now is the time that they have to save Barry Allen, especially if they're going into the future, likely to kill him. So he charges off after the time bubble while Wally tries to hold him back, and is making his way into the future, running after the Legion, which is where our issue ends. So solid stuff. Love seeing the Bart focus in this issue. I feel like he definitely gets his time to shine, both in escaping into the past, but also that brief scene between Bart and Jay, which I really loved. I feel like that had to be a Mark Waid moment. That felt very much like a Mark Waid moment there. But yeah, all around just great stuff, and really giving Bart that chance to shine while also having a nice fun flashback to Barry Allen pre Flash powers and everything. So good stuff. A solid issue. Looking forward to how this is going to conclude next month. This seems to be it for our brief impulse control arc with Mark Waid at the helm, and then after that we're going to get Ryan North leading the charge for the book. So I've been enjoying this arc, and I'm looking forward to how they're going to wrap it up next month. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for me.
100% agree. It's been fantastic. Love having Mark Waid back, even though it's temporarily. But like we talked about before, I'm so stoked for Ryan North to take on the book. This story arc has been crazy, just simply crazy. But as we will see with our next book, it's got me wondering how spread thin is Darkseid's Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, they're definitely kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing about time travel. I guess you can be in multiple places at once, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing I really didn't like about this issue. I wanted to pick your brain though about Impulse, because I didn't read really any Impulse back in the day. And I still haven't finished Flash stuff. What was I reading? Jeff Johns or Mark Waid? I was reading Jeff Johns' Flash, so I didn't read Mark Waid's Flash yet. But Impulse essentially being a physical connection to the Speed Force, is that in character? Is that canon?
That is new to me. I mean,
okay.
I'm certainly not an expert on that Impulse series, though I have read a few of those issues, and Bart having that special connection to the Speed Force, that is new to me. I mean, Bart having a sort of unique power set is that I kind of knew. Like his memory is different in that of other speedsters, and that he's like his retention is much better than the others. Like when they speed read something, they'll forget it within an hour, but Bart never forgets. But yeah, him having that tether, that is sort of new to me. I feel like that might have been maybe mentioned in no, it definitely wasn't in that Kid Flash Lost Flashpoint miniseries, because I think that was more like Bart is a temporal anomaly, but not necessarily talking about his connection to the Speed Force. So this seems newer to me, but I'd have to go back and check.
Fair enough. Okay, that's all I wanted to clarify, because it did feel very new, but at the same time, if that was something from the past, that's an even bigger. Because so far, a lot of this felt like Mark Waid kind of just harkening back to his own stuff back in the late 90s, early 2000s. When he wrote The Flash initially, and if that was a thing from his run, it would have been even cooler. I don't hate the idea either way. I just thought it would be really nice if it was an old Mark Waid idea and being a
Oh yeah,
callback. Um, so yeah, with all that in mind, I'm giving it 8.75 out of 10. Only because if you're talking continuity wise, the Legion is spread thin a little bit, and that's the
yeah,
only thing that's bugging me. Um, but yeah, 8.75, solid arc, solid issue, solid story all
for
around.
sure.
All right, that will bring us on over to the book I've already talked about, Superman, written by Joshua Williamson with art from Eddie Barrows and Eber Ferreira, colors from Alejandro Sanchez, and letters from Ariana Mara, with the cover from Dan Mora. We open on a brief look into the past of Superman and Kellex building the Superman robots that Superman Prime introduced in the last issue, specifically the one that is working with them right now. Um, Heavily advanced Superman robots that, to a certain degree, couldn't even tell the difference that they were robots. But he did put the project on hold until he was able to work out all the kinks and worked with the other couple of roboticists to
Mm.
make sure that shit wouldn't go bad. Probably also referencing some issues of Batman Superman World's Finest, where all the robots in the world basically tried to take over the planet. So that's what I got from that. We then jump to the present day where the Superman robot, Prime, and Lois Lane are flying to. Realistically, they're trying to get to the Justice League satellite, but they're still flying through the Arctic instead of flying up into the sky. That was kind of dumb, but that's besides the point. They then come across an apocalypse pit opening up right in front of them as they realize that the Earth is being terraformed. And then the Superman robot overhears some people screaming for help. So, being in true Superman fashion, flies straight towards the people in help as Prime's telling him, dude, what the fuck? No, we need to go. Right? Meanwhile, at the Fortress of Solitude, as it is also being destroyed, the Legion are able to free Omega Sunboy. And I say Legion, but it's Omega Lightning Lad, Omega Satin Girl, and Omega Cosmic Boy.
Mm.
Free Omega Sunboy. And they then gather as much information as possible as they can from the fortress for the time being, and then say, you know what, we know where they're going anyway, um, and give chase after our three intrepid super people. Superboy Prime then gets a bit of a reality check from the Superman robot and Lois Lane until they come across the people that are screaming for help. It's none other than the Royal Flush Gang, who didn't fully believe that the world is ending and thought, with everyone dipping out of harm's way, we may as well loot some stuff, right? Why the hell not? Nobody's there to stop us. Until the world started actually ending and they realized they made a great mistake. So the Superman robot does what Superman would do and offer them help regardless of past crimes and said, so we all make mistakes. It's okay. Let's go. So the trio of super people get them up to the Justice League satellite, where, well, to a ship to take them to the Justice League satellite. They find Mercy, who lets Lois know that things are worse than they thought, even granting
Mm.
goodness is of attacking things and all sorts of shit's happening. Prime heads back down to Earth to see if he can find his way into the tournament, where Lois takes Superman robot straight to the Watchtower to find Time Trapper, and they do, as he is basically on the verge of death. He reveals that Booster Gold is secretly Darkseid and betrayed them. Gorilla Grodd and the World Forger have run off. Um, he's the only one left, and then they get attacked by Saturn Girl, Cosmic Boy, and Lightning Lad. Excuse me. Um, Superman robot is being taken on by Cosmic Boy with his magnetic powers. Saturn Girl is infiltrating the minds of all of them until none other than Superboy Prime comes back with vengeance, and out of a moment straight out of like the Terminator, with his glowing red eyes. He's holding Sun Boy. Lightning Lad is already down for the count, and he just says with the most badass shits. All my life I've had to held back, but now, well, not all my life. I killed some people, and then I held back, but now
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Wow.
And he verbatim says, "It's fucking prime time, baby," and
Like
that's where
that,
issue ends.
I don't know if Joshua Williamson is aware of the memes. I really, really want to believe that's true because, like, I honestly, I was like, was that something he said before? I don't think so. Like, I know
No, I don't
everyone
think
makes,
so.
yeah, it's like everyone makes the jokes like, oh shit, it's prime time. Like if you're on, DC Comics subreddit or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I so want to believe that Williamson is aware of that because that would just make me so happy.
I think he is. He seems to be very aware of things. Right. I got spoiled from this last page the day the issue came out because one of the posts on this DC Comics subreddit was he said the thing and I clicked on it like it's just in Prime saying it's prime time, baby. Like, oh, what the fuck? All right, that's cool. To most readers, this might seem cheesy as fuck and really dumb, but for me, I ate this up. It is so much fun.
Dude, I ate this up and washed it down. Like that's just that last page made me fucking laugh out loud.
Yeah, like Sinestro Corps War, Blackest Night, Final Crisis, Superboy Prime did some pretty heinous shit. But throughout all of that, he was kind of a forefront character, literally tearing people in half. But he was always a forefront character. He was a really interesting evil Superman. Right? We've had a dozen and a half evil Superman over the many, many decades of comic books. This is maybe the most interesting one to me. Because of his history and where he comes from in the multiverse. And Joshua Williamson bringing him back, primo choice. Seriously. And just knowing that he's going to be in Superman comics going forward for the foreseeable future, I could not be more happy. Especially if we're going to see a more heroic Superboy Prime. This is his kind of growing up. We saw him have a big baby face turn in Dark Crisis, and even more. What's it? Yeah, it was Dark Crisis, right?
Yeah, it was that one tie-in.
Yeah, but there was another one, wasn't there?
I think that was it.
That was it, right?
I mean, he was in like the Dark Crisis series, or sorry, not Dark Crisis, Dark Knight's Death Metal is what I was thinking of.
Right, so he was in Death Metal, and then Dark Crisis, he had his full face turn.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That makes more sense now. And so this is just like he had his face turn, he grew up a little bit, but this is him kind of coming into his own and being the hero he always could have been.
And really getting to live out his Superman fantasy. As he said in the past, like he always wanted to be Superman, and we're gonna see that to an even greater degree when he kind of steps into the role as the main Superman, whenever that new arc is supposed to start.
Yeah, I imagine after DCKO.
Yeah.
So I fucking love it, and the art is so good. Just that bottom of the second last page where you see Superboy Prime's eyes through the smoke, just and then you turn the page and like there's two Legion members on the ground. It's like, there's nobody better suited to killing Legion people than Superboy Prime. Boy. This is gonna be good.
he has certainly redeemed himself from Legion of Three Worlds. We've come a long way.
Yeah,
come a long way.
Like it was a no-brainer decision. If you have an evil Legion of superheroes, you bring in the one person that can defeat them.
Yes, the one person who has no problem trying to kill or just killing Legionnaires.
Yeah. One has succeeded countless times. Well, not countless times, at least 3. And if I could give a prediction, like I feel like he's going to be the catalyst uh, of Time Trapper evolving into his final form,
Yes.
right? And that is going to tie into how DCKO ends. They say we're not going to see it coming. I can't say I even see that coming because, like, the seeds are there, but they haven't been watered. There's no soil on them. It's there, but it's not, right? So it's who the hell knows still. But I'm eating this shit up. I love it so much. 9.5 out of 10
This one
because
got
I'm
a
so hyped.
this one got a 9.25 for me. Totally elevated by the last page because that was just like fucking laugh out loud. But also, I mean, the DCKO event, as we've talked about, has kind of been leading into all of the manga stereotypes, and um, this one in particular, that whole moment where he's just like, everything that I've done, and ever since I've returned, like I've been holding back. Now the gloves are off. Like that was, oh man, that felt like such a kind of DBZ-ish moment. Like, okay, now it's time for me to unleash my full powers, as you remember from Infinite Crisis. So I
Yeah.
just, that like totally elevated it for me.
Yeah. If I can say what Josh wrote, he said, interesting, really nice to look at, but let's move on from constantly reiterating how much Prime is messed up. We all know that. What we don't know is what happens next issue. Other than that, this did feel like it had a few too many pages for the content that we got on those pages. It felt stretched out. 7.5 out of 10. I think that's perfectly fair. He's not wrong. There was a lot of reiteration about stuff in this issue. That's why it didn't get a 10 for me. That's the only reason I didn't get a 10. You and I, we grew up on anime. Josh didn't grow up on the same anime, right? We grew
But
up on
also,
the
I
classic
feel like,
shonen stuff, so we eat this shit
yeah,
up.
I feel like we have a love for Superboy Prime that maybe isn't felt by everyone, and that is
Yeah.
totally valid and respectable. But like
Yeah. Very
seeing
understandable.
Prime, yeah, seeing Prime have his hero arc is, I can't describe the catharsis that gives me.
Yeah. Really. I can't even tell you why it is I love Prime so much.
It's just he's
I
just
just
like,
do.
yeah, he's just that guy. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
have any other words. He's just like entertaining to follow.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like Booster Gold. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
there's no
yeah.
reason. I just love
No,
it.
I don't have
Yeah.
to rationalize it.
No. So yeah, that was Superman number 34. Let's get into something depressing. What do you say?
Oh, I suppose we can. Our next
Yeah.
book is a bit of a kill fest, but I'll do my
Of
best.
characters and joy.
Ah, Jesus. Honestly, there are a couple of them where even I was like, "Damn, really?" Like
Yeah.
you didn't even give us time. It's just like, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
This is
last issue of the not last issue of the arc, but like
yeah.
penultimate issue of the arc, everybody dies.
Yep. This is Justice League Slaughterfest number 15.
Just League
Written by
Slaughterhouse 5.
Justice League Slaughterhouse 5, written by Mark Waid with art from Dan Mora and Sean Isaacs, colors from Tamara Bonvillain, and letters from Ariana Marr. We still have our A and B story kind of going on, and maybe C story. So with the Justice League Watchtower still dealing with its power fluctuations, the Leaguers are doing their best to try and figure out what's happening, really specifically Red Tornado and Professor Haley. Although, as we saw, there was a weird power surge in the last one that Beetle was trying to deal with. Well, we get our answer as to what that is now, because that power surge fluctuates to maximum capacity or whatever. And as it is fluctuating, we see a hand breaking through that weird sort of energy cycle. Beetle then reaches out to try and make contact with it, and who should it be but Airwave, who is back from his magical mystery tour with the oh my god, the Legends.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow, the book that never was. Apparently, I thought they were going to
Yeah.
do something with that, but they didn't. So anyway,
That still happens.
hopefully, I mean, the rest of them are still out there. It was only Airwave that escaped. So
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be having their adventures in some other book.
I don't even remember who's on that team.
It was like Huntress, Jonah Hex, Marilyn Moonlight, and that character Legend. If there's someone else, I've forgotten, but I think that was it.
Right.
But yeah, no. So Airwave sort of relays his tale of how he escaped from the Vanishing Point and had managed to make his way back using Justice League communication, and basically that his arrival was what was causing the disruptions in the energy generator. So now that that's all settled and the Watchtower is hopefully regaining energy, the rest of them are gonna head to Earth to help with the evacuation process, which is where we cut back to somewhere outside of Oklahoma City, where Kid Flash is currently dealing with the four horsemen of Neron, or really more like the four horsemen of Atomic Skull, who is working for Neron. But thanks to the timely intervention of some of the international heroes who are teaming up with Airwave, they manage to beat down some of those villains. And Kid Flash then races towards the center of Neron's castle, or Atomic Skull's castle, to free the souls, but not before Neron himself shows up and says, hey, you might not want to do that. In freeing these souls, yes, they will return to their bodies, but you're going to damn the villains forever, and also yourselves. So do you really want to take that risk? I don't think so. With that, we cut back to Hell, which is a literal place, but also is what it feels like reading this book, because it is miserable. We are at the last dregs of Justice League Suicide Squad, or Suicide Squad Justice League, however you want to refer to it. They are making their way through the cold part of Hell now. And just as the Tim Drake Batman Beyond is trying to have a little heart-to-heart with Mr. Terrific regarding him, I guess, feeling a little inadequate, like he could never measure up to being Justice League status, a monster attacks, and literally in a moment that almost made me laugh, Superman basically says, fuck it, I give up, flies into the monster and explodes it from within. I'm not kidding. He has a moment where he's just like, you don't need me anymore. I'm done. I give up. I'm going to kill this thing, and then that's the end of me. Like, no preamble, no build up, just I'm dead. So that whole thing about him losing his soul feels kind of pointless, because he just is like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. So he dies and takes the monster with him. They finally make it past this icy tundra to the last remaining leg before they show up at Neron's castle. And that is when Mark Waid decides, nah, we haven't culled enough of these characters yet. Let's get rid of Hawk. So Hawk decides to fly ahead. And as he does so, he's immediately attacked by a monster and is turned into a monster. And in doing so, attacks Tim Drake, who is then killed as well. So literally within the span of a few pages, everyone is dead, or almost everyone is dead, save for Mr. Terrific, Dr. Fate, and Owl Woman. Tim has his last moments where Terrific is like, you would have been a great Justice Leaguer. Sorry you died, kid. But they don't really have too much time to feel sad about it, as they have finally approached Neron's castle and have now entered, except we're not done with the kill fest yet, folks. Dr. Fate is immediately swarmed by the remaining people there and is seemingly killed on the spot. Owl Woman, well, we don't fully see, but we'll get to that later. So Mr. Terrific approaches the inner room / throne room of Neron and is basically like, look, I've been through hell, and at this point, I just want to make a bargain. Like, can you please depower the villains and hopefully help us save the lives of the people we're still evacuating? And Neron's like, how much are you going to pay me? And Mr. Terrific is like, I will give you my soul, and also I will be your agent on Earth, and you will have access to everything. And Neron's like, that's cute, but I actually already have one of those, so fuck you. And that's when Owl Woman attacks from behind and reveals that she has been working for Neron this whole time. Surprise, surprise. I guess it kind of makes sense when you think about it, given how frequently they were being attacked by underworld monsters, that Neron would have had an agent from the inside, but it's still just like, damn. Like, no one can win in this Justice League everyone dies story. So it is a solid issue, but honestly, even now I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm ready for this to be over. Like, I'm tired of watching everyone die. Last month was one thing, but this is just getting ridiculous. Like, they're
Yeah.
dying so fast they don't even care anymore. Like, let's just finish with this. So when I saw that the end of this one will say, I don't know if it said to be concluded, but I assume that the next issue will be the conclusion of this arc. Like, I'm like,
I
please,
think it is. Yeah.
let's be done with this.
Please.
So yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. Dan Mora kills it as always, but yeah, I'm ready to be done with this. So yeah,
Yeah.
this 7.5 for me.
Um. Yeah, I said my piece about the story arc a couple of issues ago. I don't care for it, but at least my one shining beacon of hope was Airwave. He came back and he was helping people and he was being a
Yeah.
hero.
Yes.
That kind of saved the issue for me because this was going to get, if it was just the Terrific 10 dying, it was gonna get like a 5. But now that Airwave is back and there's some light in the story again, I'll bump it up to a 7, right? Because it's just so tired of watching my favorite heroes get killed off unceremoniously.
It is miserable.
It's so depressing,
This
and
issue, I think, in
it's like a
particular,
horror story you don't really want to read.
yeah. And I just like this one really felt like we just need them to die. Like, fuck it.
Yeah,
We're not gonna do the like emotional thing where Mr. Terrific feels sad or or whatever. Like, they just die and they just move on.
yeah. Like you said with Superman. Like, sure, last issue he kind of sacrificed his hope,
Mm.
so it's kind of in character at this point. But literally, he just didn't even listen to anybody. Just like, fuck it, all right, I got this, and just flies into the monster's mouth. Like, it's just comical. It
Yes.
really was.
I laughed at first. I
Yeah.
mean, it's sad to read, but I'm just like, he just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, I think I rolled my eyes when I read that.
I can't blame you.
It's just not great. So that's what I got. It's a 7.
Well, we're almost over, so we're almost
Yeah.
done.
I'm happy Airwaves back. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh kind of feels the same about this. He gave it a 6.75. He has a point. The art, spot on. I really like the art throughout.
As always.
Yeah.
Dan Mora kills it.
Oh yeah. You can't hate the art in a book with Dan Mora. I don't care who you are. Hey, we're going to spin on over to the Absolute universe where we do our quote unquote absolute roundup. Remember when I said, the Absolute books are coming out 1 or 2 a week and we could just do them with the regular show, right? And then they decided to change the release schedule and have 4 in 1 fucking week. These bastards.
Oh man. This was a lot, man.
Yeah.
And
And Absolute Green Arrow's coming in a couple of months too.
I forgot about that. And Absolute Catwoman. I don't know if we got a release date on that, but
I forgot about that. Yeah. All right. Well, this is Absolute Flash number 11. This is written by Jeff Lemire with art and cover from Nick Robles, letters from Adriano Lucas, and letters from Tom Napolitano. So we open up in the other world, which we could call the Speed Force, but they have not necessarily said it is yet. This other world that Wally has fallen into is where a ghost-like version of Barry Allen exists, and it's the same place where Eobard Thawne and Jay Garrick also fell into. But most people become soul-like, like Barry Allen, as well as this being such called Nalak, which I'm stoked for because he's from Sector 2813 or 2816. Right? Yeah, 2816. This was the neighbor of. No. I fail. It's 1418. Neighbor of Katmatui was sector 1417, home of Korugar. And Salak was the sector neighbor 1418.
Yes.
Salak. Yes, so this is Nalak, Salak's race. Sorry, I like testing myself on space sectors. Yeah, so Nalak is there, as Barry says, like me, did not survive. Also, Red Ghost. Many scientists have discovered this realm over the years, and many have come there and essentially, quote unquote, died. Um, However, some retain their physical bodies like Wally did, but Barry theorizes that Wally is special, different somehow. We can assume because he has his speed, but other people like Eobard Thawne and Jay Garrick were not so lucky. Jay Garrick, they eventually come across his bones, complete with his military suit and his name emblazoned right on it, who was whisked into this world they call the Still Point, alongside Eobard Thawne, who succumbed to something a little more nefarious, which I can only assume is the negative speed force. A hole in the ground, much like a well with a red and black glowing lightning type energy, which, much like the dark side of the force, kind of calls to you to become part of it. Wally almost gets pulled into it until Barry pulls him away, and says, "We're going to help you get home." But Barry or Wally is concerned if a portal can even be opened. Meanwhile, on Earth at Project Olympus, Eobard has come out the portal looking quite monstrous himself, downright demonic even, and just destroying everything in his path. Eleanor Thawne is kind of bewildered and realizes she made a grave mistake as Trickter says, "Hey, the fuck you think?" And the rest of the quote unquote rogues come fighting to save what they can of the base. Rudy West gets freed by the lone soldier guarding him because his partner said, "Fuck it, I'm out." And he says, "Look, if you're just going to run away, at least let me be free. Give me a fighting chance."
Yeah.
So he does. And Rudy is looking for Wally, but realizes Eobard was the one that came out instead. Golden Glider loses her legs as well in a brief moment where she was trying to take down Eobard, but failed horribly. Trickster was working on opening the portal again, and just as she figures it out comes Wally West as he's screaming at Thawne and says, "I've seen what you are, and I'm done running." In a moment that just screams, "Holy shit, let's fucking go." And then you see the title of the arc, The War of the Flashes, part 1 of 2. Loved it. Cut the check. Run it home.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm going to share my score with Josh. 9 out of 10. The art was fantastic. The lore that was being put in here, fantastic. The nod towards aliens in the DC, loved it. The hints that longtime Flash fans will recognize and new time Flash fans will be curious about, fantastic. Still Point makes me wonder what that means. Why is it called Still Point and not like Quick Point? You know, like, is the turtle gonna show up at some point? Like that was what was running through my mind. You know, I don't know. So that's something curious. Maybe the Still Point because the people that are there are kind of stuck. They're just stuck still. Who knows? There's a few curious things here. We'd have to ask Jeff Lemire, or at least wait till the next issue where they finish explaining the Still Point. End of the day, though, loved it. Seeing the rogues work together to fight Eobard was awesome. I hope the rogues become allies to Wally going forward because great fucking team. I love this version of the rogues. They are fantastic. And I cannot wait to see Wally come out powered up, no longer scared, and ready to fight as the Flash.
Yeah.
Looks so fucking cool. 9 out of 10. Like I said, 9 out of 10.
No, I'm right there with you. I gave this one an 8.5 out of 10, and it's great to see Wally's character arc really come to this point where now he's really embraced his sort of his powers and is ready to kind of take on the threat head on. I know we kind of had a moment like that in the past, but now it feels realized, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it was so good.
Yeah.
All right. With
Speaking of
that,
books that are insanely good,
yeah, moving on over to Absolute Martian Manhunter. Oh, number
ugh,
8.
absolute Martian Manhunter, absolute mind trip, as always. Is written by Dennis Camp with art by Javier Rodriguez and colors by Javier Rodriguez, with letters by Hassan Otsmain El Hao and a cover by Javier Rodriguez. We see our strange investigators coming into town, as various people throughout Middleton are reporting family members and friends to the FBI, and it seems like the heat is on. Meanwhile, John is going crazy as usual, and is really reeling at work, requesting some sick time, while his boss even notes that, like, you have been weird and not quite yourself lately. That being said, he's still very much on the clock, and the expectation is that he will show up to work. So what does he do? Heads straight to the bar, and gets himself loaded for a little. Jesus. Sorry about that. 1 second, man. I gotta take this. Everyone is calling me lately.
Yeah, Martian Manhunter, dope as hell. When we get back to it, it is crazy.
Sorry about that. Yeah,
Don't
that's
worry.
like my brother had called, my aunt had called, another friend had called. Like, I was worried something had happened.
Yeah.
That's all good. It's just weird timing. Anyway, so John's getting loaded, and very much is frustrated with the Martian for essentially ruining his life. Starts knocking back a few more than is necessary, and then ultimately, I think, reaches an arrangement with the Martian in that they will have a little bit of space, at least for the time being. So while John is preparing himself to check in with someone else special to him, the Martian is going off to investigate various things throughout Middleton. So John makes his way, perhaps unwisely, back to their house, where he reconnects with Bridget for a moment. Bridget is willing to let him in, but not with everything kind of ruined on his pants and shoes after his incident at the bar. And so he takes a shower, and the two of them kind of connect for a brief moment while the Martian continues to investigate. John asks if he is able to see Tyler, but she says that's probably not a good idea, but seems a little bit more forgiving in the moment, and even admits that he kind of misses him just as much as John misses her. John, meanwhile, in his investigations, is being attacked by the various mysterious people that we'd seen in the previous issue. And one of them actually manages to get a shot in on the Martian, though how is not really clear, through the use of some kind of special bullet, which at least manages to put the Martian down for the meantime, while they move in to investigate. And as John, I guess, is allowed to stay for the night, or at least is staying for the night, and is getting ready to lay down, notices a strange presence in the room, a thick sort of presence that is not the Martian that was there. An entity calling themselves Despair the Zero, one which informs John that he is his new partner, or they are their new partner. So definitely some trippy stuff going on. This issue, as always, like the rest of the series, just builds the mystery even more, but really loved the character work in this one in particular. I feel like even though there was definitely some strange mind fuckery going on, I really appreciate that we got the chance to kind of slow down with John a little bit, which I really appreciated. So yeah, just good stuff overall, and continues to just be a fascinating series, cover to cover. So 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, as much as there was crazy mindfuckery here, it also was maybe the most down to earth issue so far.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. Crazy that the Martian got essentially arrested,
Yeah,
but even crazier that John got a new partner out of nowhere, and that partner is motherfucking Despero.
yeah,
Holy shit! My jaw dropped when I saw that page. I'm like,
crazy.
why does that head fin look familiar? Wait, Despair this. Oh my god, it's
I
fucking
know that
Despero.
guy. Yeah,
You
and
know,
then you
that's
really think about it, and it's like Despair the Zero,
yeah.
Despair Zero, Despero. Oh my god, a real
Yeah.
realization there.
Yeah. And what's the connection here with the because it's not just Martians then. Like obviously there's the Martian, the green Martian, the
Yeah,
Martian mindfucker, and the white Martian, but now there's other aliens involved that are also kind of just in John's mind. It's just, it's kind of crazy what the hell is going on. And
but
it's really making you think now, like what level of this is all in John's mind and what level of it is actually happening.
yeah,
It's very fucking trippy.
very
It
fast.
honestly, this issue is a 9.25 for me.
Yeah, no, this was great, and just I mean, as always, the artwork is
God, so
insane, but
good.
particularly during the sort of chase sequence with the Martian where he's being hunted, like that was just the colors used were amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it was fantastic. I'm trying to fix my camera here. Oh God, I'm making it worse. I'll just move my chair. All right. Well, from whatever city that was to Gateway City. What the fuck city are they in?
Middleton,
Middleton.
Colorado.
There you go. Middleton, Colorado. To Gateway City. It's back to Absolute Wonder Woman. Excuse me, number 16. Wow, we got 2 books left. We did it.
Yeah.
This is Season of the Witch, Part 1 of 5, written by Kelly Thompson with art from Hayden Sherman, colors from Hayden Sherman and Jordi Belair and Derek Chu and Guillaume March. Oh, no, it's covers. Whoops. Colors from Jordi Belair and letters from Becca Carey. Whoops. I was wondering why there were so many colorists here. Covers from all those people and more. Yeah, so we open up on a brief look back with Diana on the kind of on the Wild Isle meeting Aphrodite, and then waking up outside the Heron, meeting Ferdinand, excuse me, and Petra. All the other beings out of the labyrinth have been resettled, and they're the last two as Diana reassures them that they always have a home here at the Hyron. Meanwhile, Steve Trevor is at a Senate hearing, and that Senate hearing in Washington, D.C. is about Wonder Woman and his role in what Wonder Woman did in Gateway City, as he assures the Senate that when he did what he did, he was not breaking any laws, he did not disobey any orders, and he effectively resigned from the United States Army after he figured that Wonder Woman is the future and she is on the right side of history. So he will be on the right side of history, resigned and joined up her cause to help her fight for the future. And if they ever want to speak to him again, now they'll need a subpoena. So basically, fuck you, politicians. Excuse me. We then move on to the Gateway City Natural History Museum, where Diana is made an appearance with Pegasus, which surprisingly is not freaking anybody the fuck out. In fact, she's getting photos taken all over the place. She's in a sleek black dress, and everybody wants her quote and picture, and they're all chanting how much they love her. Barbara's there, as this is her gallery opening, and it's all because Diana has shown up and sparked an interest in that kind of history, in Roman history, Roman culture, and what's going on there. Steve is there. Etta and her sister are also there, but have not made an appearance as of yet. But as they're looking over the art pieces, Diana suddenly falls to the floor, kind of limp. As we get another brief look back at the Wild Isle, where Diana is training with Artemis. Excuse me. And if Diana gets a win in their sparring match, she gets the answer to why did Aphrodite not come and visit her again. To which Artemis kind of gives a non-answer about, the gods just do what they do. I don't really know, etc., etc. And this is when Diana wakes up, remembering that she feels that love is the true answer here, and love is everything there is, and that's the true power in the world, which, as we know, for Wonder Woman, is one of her big strengths. And just as she's waking up, she feels her magic is missing. She can't access it, but her arm hasn't disappeared, so it's not like it's completely gone. But something bad is about to happen. As it does atop a doorway, a giant blue kaboom happens, and out comes Absolute Zatanna, along with her Suicide Squad, which includes a queen of the species called Kappa, Giganta, Dr. Poison, and someone that suspiciously looks like Cheetah. But it can't be Barbara Minerva, because Barbara Minerva is right next to Diana. Indeed.
Another cheetah?
Apparently. And this is when Diana remembers in issue 14, she saw a vision of some magic like being speaking in riddles, but then she realizes what the person was speaking was just backwards, and that spell that was said backwards is "I bind you to me while in my presence, your voice is mine alone." As Diana realizes that is where her magic went. Her magic currently belongs to this person, aka Zatanna. That's where issue ends, basically. They've attacked the gallery opening, and we don't know what the fuck is going to happen next. But wild opening for Absolute Zatanna, great costume for Absolute Zatanna, and a lot of open questions, such as who the hell is Cheetah? There's some interesting stuff going on there. Really fun issue, a lot of open-ended questions. Excuse me. But I know it's part 1 of 5, but it really felt like a setup for the story arc instead of just jumping in head first. So it was a little slower, but I didn't hate it. But for that, is going to get an 8.5 out of 10. Solid stuff and a solid intro to Absolute Zatanna.
No, yeah, I completely agree with you there. And it was great to finally have the proper introduction, not Zatanna communicating as a kind of spirit or ghost. While Diana is in a different plane. Like we have the full debut, which was really fun, and maybe a little bit of flirting here and there. Noticed a lot of people talking about that, which is interesting. But even having a little bit of downtime before all the craziness ensues with Diana and Barbara Ann was really great too. Just kind of seeing that dynamic. So great stuff all around. Hell of a way to set up the next issue, and certainly leaves me wondering how, if she can, Diana will reacquire her magic from Zatanna, given that her magic is very different from Zatanna's spoken magic.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, cool stuff. Give it a 8.75 out of 10.
Right on. All right, our last book of the week. Holy shit, we did it!
Man, we just barely made it somehow. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, keeping up with Absolute Wonder Woman as she crosses over with our other absolute hero for this month, Mr. Batman, is Absolute Batman number 16, written by Scott Snyder with art by Nick Dragotta. Colors by Frank Martin and letters by Clayton Cowles, with yet another cover by Nick Dragotta, one I absolutely love. This issue is actually pretty straightforward. It sees Bruce checking in with Oz and Harv after all the madness with Bane and them being kidnapped and experimented on. They're rightfully pissed. Bruce is trying his best to make the peace, but they just aren't having it, so he kind of has to leave. And in that moment, decides, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to do what I can to at least save one of my friends. So he goes to the Gotham Museum of Natural History and uses the talisman that Wonder Woman gave him in issue 15 of Absolute Wonder Woman to summon her and basically say, look, one of my friends has changed and he's not getting better. I just want to see if there's some kind of artifact that'll, I don't know, do something, help him kind of shift back. And she's basically like, well, there's nothing here for you, but there may be something in another realm that I will help you acquire. And thus they do so. So they traverse this plane and for many days are fighting across various realms and encountering various creatures. But finally, on, I think it was the 16th day, they managed to make their way to the bridge where they will come head to head with Arculus, who Bruce will need to best in order to acquire the artifact that he seeks. But in order to make passage there, Bruce basically needs to sleep and have safe passage there with the proper preparations, which Diana, places on his eyes as Bruce then prepares to make his journey there. As he is slowly making that journey, he has a brief moment where he reconnects with his father in the other plane, and that's a rather nice and touching reunion. But once that has ended and Bruce's dream is past, he awakes, the coins from his eyes, and they come face to face with Arculus, who they then challenge to a fight. They do their best to hold him off, and Batman has a rather awesome scene where he's riding Wonder Woman's Pegasus. But in the end, Batman unfortunately is not quite bested, but is rather taken down by an arrow, while Diana is the one who actually bests Arculus. She is able to kind of ferry him to the other side, even though he was not the one who bested him, and ultimately is able to still acquire what he needed, even after passing from the other side, waking up from his dream, and remembering something that Diana had said, where everything that he needs is already within him. So the arrow that had pierced him in his fight with Arculus, he basically rips out of his body, and uses a particular choice of words that I guess gives it some kind of ability, and then gives that artifact over to Waylon, who we don't see much of in this issue, but only towards the end, where he picks up the artifact and whispers Bruce's name, and that's where our issue ends. So I would say pretty fun, kind of one and done, sets up things for the future. Maybe this will help Waylon stop morphing into a weird crocodile monster, or maybe it'll help him reverse. We don't really know, but hopefully it'll help that stop the process and develop that a little bit further. But this was really just kind of a great way for Bruce and Diana to team up once again. So yeah, I enjoyed it about as much as last month's team up, and really enjoyed the fight between Diana and Bruce and Arculus. Felt like that was done super well. So yeah, gave this one an 8.5 out of 10. Really dug it.
Same, yeah. This not, I want to say it was my favorite Absolute issue of the week, but I think that one still goes to Martian Manhunter because it came out this week. But still a stellar fucking issue. I love Alfred just screaming at Waylon to like not eat me. It's like, I get that scene was supposed to be kind of tense and a little frightening, but I couldn't help but laugh at it. It felt comical.
It was kind of comical.
Yeah. Interesting stuff going on though throughout. I wonder if Waylon will be saved here, and if that will potentially help change the others' minds towards Bruce, because they're all just ready to tell him to fuck off, and I think they pretty much did.
Yeah, they're just like you didn't help us. And
Yeah.
don't really want you around, man.
Understandable, very understandable.
Yeah.
But if he does save Waylon though, and get Waylon to change back into a human, maybe that'll help change some things around. Maybe we'll have to see. Still, really cool issue. I'm liking these team ups. I like that Bruce and Diana have that camaraderie already of being a team. That they already have that backbone. So when they do eventually meet up with like Superman and the Flash and other characters in the Absolute Universe, they have that backbone already, and they can form the Justice Society, maybe,
At the very
because
least,
Justice League is already
Trinity
taken by the villain.
start.
Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say at the very least the absolute Trinity to start.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I'm going to give it 8.75.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, what did you give it?
I also give it an 8.75.
Right on. All right, well, that does it for our books. So now it's time for our top 3 and favorite moments and then favorite cover. I will not be able to scroll through the covers, but if you have them in front of you, Brandon, we can at least talk about them. You want to go first, top 3, or do you want me to go first?
No, I can go first with my top 3. At number 3, I have Superman. At number 2, I have Nightwing. But number 1, I got to give it to Absolute Martian Manhunter. It consistently just blows me away. But this was a tough one. I mean, I feel like a lot of my scores this week were pretty high.
Yeah.
And a lot of them I just really enjoyed. So I don't know. I wish I could give them all top 3 spots because everything was pretty good this week, with the exception of a couple. My favorite moment, though, it's tough. Because I really want to give it to freaking primetime, baby. But I'm going to give it to Absolute Batman, where Arcalis says, I fell you and your mortal mate. And both of them are like, we're not together. Like this giant splash page of the two of them, just like, we're not together. Very clearly hammering home that there will be no absolute romance in this universe. So that's pretty fun.
That was 100% justified. All right, for me, I have. Sorry, 1 second. Kind of stuck between 3 books, but I think I'm going to give number 3 to Absolute Flash. Number 2 is going to be Absolute Martian Manhunter, and number 1 is going to be Superman. Surprisingly, just eked out over Martian Manhunter, but Superman by far was just the most fun this week. My favorite moment is there's so many good moments in this. I had a hard time picking, but I am going to give it to it's fucking primetime, baby. It was just so good.
Primetime, maybe.
Yeah. My follow up was going to be the reveal of or the return of Airwave.
Yes. Yeah.
Or the reveal of Static. All great moments.
Yeah.
But this one definitely it's fucking time, baby. Can't deny it was so good. Yeah. Josh's top 3, very different from ours. Detective Comics 1105, then The Kids Are All Fight Special number 1, then Absolute Wonder Woman number 16. His favorite moment was Fair Play being revealed as autistic and it being a boon to his intellect and abilities. It was really good. That was actually really cool.
Yeah.
And The Kids Are All Fight Special. That, again, to reiterate, check out that special. It's worth it. It's setting some stuff up for the future. It is such a good one shot.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Favorite cover. Do you, by any chance, have them in front of you?
Ooh, man, I do. And it was a very tough week to choose, but I think I gotta go with Absolute Batman.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
Something about the staging of this one, like it's both funny and badass at the same time, and I can't say why. I don't know if it's the height difference between Bruce and Diana, or like Diana's expression of like, really, I have to work with this little man again, and he's being like, what the hell? What the hell? And I don't know, something about this. It just rides that perfect line between being like funny but also super awesome at the same time.
Yeah. No, definitely. For me, that is a great one, but I'm kind of stuck between. Yeah, fuck. I was kind of stuck between Absolute Martian Manhunter and Absolute Wonder Woman, but I think I'm giving it to Wonder Woman. That just red background of Diana with the forefront image of Absolute Zatanna just looks so good.
Yeah, well, that's awesome looking cover.
Yeah. Josh says his favorite cover. He's a sucker for soups in red arm wraps. This week it's definitely Superman number 34.
Nice.
I don't blame you there. That's a dynamic one. They were all pretty good in their own way, but some of them were either too plain or too busy for me.
Mm.
But the Absolute Wonder Woman one just looks oddly dynamic at the same time. It's telling a story while being simple.
No, it's got a lot going on.
Yeah. It's really good. All right, that is it for this week. You got any last minute things to say, B?
Nothing more, my friend. Just hopefully next week is not as many books. This was definitely a lot.
Yeah. I haven't looked at what we got next week, but I agree. Hopefully not as many books.
Hopefully.
Do you want to hear, and again, I haven't read Superman Unlimited number 9, but like I said, it's kind of lower on my list. Do you want to hear Josh's review for it really quick? Because it's the last book here.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That he has on his notes that he sent me. Let's just double check something here. It is, okay, guaranteed. It is the lowest score he gave this week, surprisingly. His review said verbatim, "Ew. That was painful to read, and the art wasn't exactly stellar. Major stinker, this one. 3 out of 10.
Ouch. Jeez,
Yeah,
well,
that does
I'm
not give me hope for this issue. Because I've
Yeah,
tried a couple of times this week to
really-
read the first page, and it just like this doesn't look exciting.
Jeez.
Not like the last issue with John Kent. That one was actually really good.
Huh.
That one I actually really liked. And if they dive into that concept of Superman Unlimited, where it is a super family book, and like the unlimited aspect is you could have all these different characters from the Superman universe, like John Kent. You could have Steel. You could have Superwoman.
You were kind of describing it
taking
as a
turns.
family book.
Yeah, just taking turns with their own stories, because that's what it was last month. And yes, John Kent is Superman, so he's counts. But it was him and Steel and Natasha and Lana. That was it.
Yep.
And it was great.
Yeah.
So who the fuck knows? But yeah, that's it for this week and last week. So thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same Geek time, same Geek channels, supposedly. That's the show. We're getting out of here, so you have to as well. Be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone. Peace.
See ya.